Tuesdays with Scotty are not the opinions of Scotty White, but the opinions of the lizard people who secretly rule this planet. Thank you.
You're listening to the Mopcast Network.
Wonderful town, wonderful people, places to go, things to see. My love is Mobile, that's my wonderful town. Beautiful homes, schools and churches, entertainment, places to shop. My heart's in Mobile, that's my wonderful town.
Mopcast Network presents
Live from Stupid Mop Studios, located in Mobile, Alabama.
It's Tuesdays with Scotty.
This is the podcast about whatever the hell Scotty wants to talk about.
From pop culture to food, movies, comics, or games.
Literally whatever the hell Scotty wants to talk about.
If you don't like it,
get your own podcast.
Now here's your host, your Native American pop culture spirit guide, Scotty.
That's right, it's Tuesday, and I'm your Native American pop culture spirit guide, Scotty. And we're here to talk about literally whatever the hell I want to talk about. I'm here with producer Caleb.
Hey, there we go.
Who's the steadfast producer of all the Mopcast Network's shows. So, like, we've been doing this podcast network since 2014. For those who are just new to the show and our whole smiling faces, Caleb, you got thrown into this last year. Am I overworking you yet?
No, because I enjoy it. That's the key of avoiding it being overwork. Is as long as I enjoy it, I'm not overworked.
All right, well, I don't want to overwork you, but we're gonna have some fun today. If you like anything on the network or this show, you can like and subscribe us on any podcast app. We do Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Pandora, whatever. If you can listen to a iHeartRadio, we're on that.
Yeah.
If you can listen to a podcast, you can listen to our podcast. And please rate and like and subscribe, because you're not going to want to miss this show or any on the shows, because all our shows are exciting and fun. And you can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Tuesdays with Scotty, because that's the name of the show. You heard that in the intro. And if you want to see what me and Caleb look like, because we are darn cute,
yeah,
you can go to youtube.com/Mopcast Network to see us and the rest of the shows. The ladies on the other shows are cuter than we are, but we're not too shabby ourselves. I want to talk about justice. I want to start this podcast with talking about justice.
Oh, not hope.
Not hope. I want to talk about justice, because I believe in justice.
Hey.
Justice is important, right?
Yeah.
Right. What kind of country would we have without justice? I want to talk about a specific kind of justice.
Okay.
So this happened in Georgia. So you remember the beginning of the COVID times?
I remember.
And the government was like, here's some money. Here's a little money to help you through the COVID times.
Yeah.
Well, they also gave small businesses money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a small business.
The IPPs or whatever they're called. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a small business. I did not receive any money because they were like, you're too small of a business. That's before I had the toy shop. So I was trying to, like, we're a podcast network. We entertain dozens of people every week. And so, and Uncle Sam was like, dozens is not enough. You need more than dozens. And so I kicked a rock and was like, okay, Uncle Sam. However, other people got the COVID loan for their small business. Caleb?
Yes.
You could use that for specific things to help your business. It was earmarked for those kind of things for your business.
Yep.
What did one man do with it in Georgia? So you had one Georgian
went to get some delicious food.
And so you think he bought food with it?
Yeah.
I will tell you, no, he did not buy food. I'll give you another guess. What is the
one thing you shouldn't do?
No. There's lots of things like buying a nuclear weapon. That's not something you should have done with your small business.
Well, also, I don't think that small business would be enough.
Right. I don't know. Those briefcase moms you see in those movies, I guess, are kind of like that. So.
Spend it all on Bitcoin.
which would have been a smart investment until now.
Yeah.
Thanks, Russia, for screwing up Bitcoin. Man, Russia screwed up Bitcoin. Man.
Yeah.
I can't say cryptocurrency has paid for a lot of our equipment, so we can't complain too much.
No.
No, this man bought a Pokemon card.
Oh.
A Pokemon card.
Was it at least worth the rarity of that?
He bought a first edition Shadowless base set Charizard.
Ooh.
For $57,789.
Ooh.
In July of 2020, he received $85,000, and with that, he bought a Pokemon card. Guess what?
I'm guessing the
federal government does not think that's an acceptable expense.
I was about to say, I'm thinking they are writing them up. So audit.
So here's the rub. All right, here's where I deviate from this. He is ordered to pay back the full $85,000 plus a $10,000 fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And give up the card.
Now that part, I don't think they.
You either give them the card, not the money and the card.
Yeah.
I don't think he should give up both.
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
yeah,
he gamed the system. That's what he did. He gamed the system. They got mad that he gamed the system, and now he's like, I think he's got jail time. Let me see if he got jail time.
Did they also specify what he did? What type of small business?
No, we did not. He did get jail time with 3 years. He got 3 years.
Ooh. Probably going to be out in half that.
Probably because of the way, it's a nonviolent crime.
Yeah.
And prisons are overpopulated because prisons are a dumb idea. We got to fix those.
Yeah.
I want to put a bunch of criminals in a room where they can just be animals and then send them back into society and wonder why they're not acting like people. I don't know how that works. This is what this show is going to be, guys. Hang on, roll on for us. So he got 3 years. Had to take so the federal government now has a Pokemon card.
So he's already done all this.
Yeah,
he's already given the money back.
Yeah,
the card.
I don't know if he's giving the money back. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, well, they're probably not going to get that money back. That's probably why they asked for the Pokemon card, because they're not going to get that money.
The sentence highlights that the FBI's commitment to aggressively pursue everyone who would abuse taxpayer dollars and divert them from citizens who desperately need them. Okay, so I know people who desperately needed that loan and didn't get it.
Yep.
But I know large companies who didn't need that loan and got it.
Yep.
So
I'm still
really FBI. Is that what you're really doing?
I'm also curious what his business was, because that to me would make the difference.
I mean, if he has a card shop,
yeah.
If he had a card shop, I mean,
but I guess obviously not. Otherwise, they wouldn't be after him. But we don't know. That's the other.
Oh, all it said was he used it on a quote unquote entertainment business that he claimed he owned. So I guess we're not going to got $85,000 for equipment and hiring.
Yeah,
I could actually pay you a paycheck.
Yeah,
No, it went to Charizard Man.
Yeah,
which I don't fault. Look, Charizard Man tried. I give him a chance to try. He tried, but
I mean, I would assume that the entertainment, you could get away with it if you say that it's like what I do when I buy books, like for Star Wars podcasts.
Well, you do, but it's a review.
Yeah,
it's a review.
So I don't know what type of entertainment business that they're claiming. So if they're reviewing or doing like hey, I got this card and here's all the cool stuff about it or whatever.
that's a stretch. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I think the
but obviously they must have looked into it to find it sus.
Right. He should have just filed paperwork differently or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I bought all this other stuff with it. I don't know. But poor Georgia guy, he is going to jail where he's going to learn other games besides Pokemon.
Yep.
Going to play Gotta Catch Them All with his nuts. Poor prison. Man, we got to fix that. We got to fix that. Do you like fried chicken?
I like fried chicken.
I like fried chicken too. I'm a large guy. I like fried chicken. I like when I travel to different states to find like local fried chicken places
Mm-hmm.
to taste their fried chickens.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I'll say locally we don't really have like. I mean, our fried chicken.
We're more. We got
we have
more
a lot of chains. We have a lot of chains.
Yeah, and outside of that, our more localized stuff is more like chicken strips.
Yeah, everything's chicken fingers, man. Like, I saw an article. No, I didn't watch an article. I found on a YouTube hole about the 50 best restaurants in each. Each state had a restaurant. So the 50 best restaurants, fast food restaurants in the United States by state, and then ours was Milo's, which is okay.
I also haven't seen a Milo's personally here in a while.
I think is there still one in Mobile? It's on airport, maybe. I don't know. I like their sweet tea. I love their sweet tea.
I like their tea.
But a friend of mine was telling me that those are separate companies. Like they sold off the sweet tea business and just have the restaurants. So I don't know. I currently in my fridge is a gallon of Milo's sweet tea. Milo's, if you want to sponsor a podcast, I would not turn that offer away.
Yeah, according to their website, there isn't one near us.
All right, so
at least in Mobile.
However, I would put Fusakli's, which is our chicken finger, local chicken finger restaurant, which is weird. Wow, like we have
Zaxby's.
There's Zaxby's, Fusakli's,
Raising
Cane's. There's three,
and I like them each for different parts of the meal.
Okay,
so Fusakli's gets the chicken.
All right.
Raising Cane for their toast. And then Zaxby's on the fries.
Okay. Yeah, I like. Yeah, I'll take that. I like that. I like Fusakli's ranch.
Ooh, yeah, their ranch is good.
It's got some kind of devilishness in it. I don't know what it is. It's like, man, I eat that. It's like it's taking my soul. It's so good. That's just, I don't get it. I don't understand. The reason why I was talking chicken. I sent this to you in a messenger.
Yep, I saw it.
There is and we'll play this in a second for everyone to see. But there in Louisiana, there's a Popeyes, and I love Popeyes chicken. Before I get to the chicken, though. So do you like Popeyes? Do you eat Popeyes?
Not too often.
Okay.
I like their sides more than their chicken.
All right, so I love their chicken. I do like their sides. What is your favorite side?
Oh, their red beans.
The red beans, right?
Yeah.
My favorite side is Cajun rice, and most Popeyes no longer have it. And I was mad. So there's a Popeyes by where I work, which is a huge mistake because I'm like, I'll never be able to lose weight because I'm just like, it's there and I have no willpower. And it went away. It was stripped out on the outside menu for the drive-through, and so I tweeted because I'm on the Twitter.
Yeah,
I tweeted Popeyes and was like, "Hey, what's up?" And then I got a DM back from them, and they were like, "Oh my God, sir, we'll check on it for you." And so I let it go for a couple of weeks, and then I didn't hear anything, and I contacted them back, and I was like, "Hey, chicken people, where my Cajun rice?" And she said to me, I assume it was a her. I don't know why I'm just assuming gender of this Twitter. But she said to me, "Oh, we've discontinued that item." And I'm like, why didn't you tell me that in the first place? Also, I'm heartbroken. And so every now and then the one up here past the studio sometimes has it, but it's never as good. It's like they're just trying to get rid of what's left over, and it doesn't taste right. I'm not a fan. I miss my, and I'm hoping maybe that's like COVID thing, like because supply chain and everything. They just can't get the Cajun rice. I don't know. I guess it's birthed in Louisiana.
Yeah,
just can't get it shipped out wherever they need to get it. I don't know. I am not a transportation expert. Never claimed to be. I'm not a Buttigieg. Yeah, can't do it as busboy Pete. I guess that's what you call him, busboy.
Yeah,
Pete. He has the Secretary of Transportation.
Yep.
They have buses.
Yeah.
This is what I know about our government. They own a Pokemon card. I wonder what other weird things they have like seized. I don't. I may have to find out and do a whole segment of like weird stuff the government seized over the years for a future episode.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the Popeyes. There's a Popeyes in Louisiana, and they had the most interesting drive-through lady. And we'll just play the clip now so you can all hear it.
Hi, thank you for Popeyes. This is Cynthia speaking. Make sure you have exact cash account and keep it popping. You hear me?
Well, now, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. Keeping it real over here. That's what we do. What can I get you, baby?
Always keep it real. Let me get
That's what I'm talking about.
Let me get a number 8, please.
Number 8. Okay, that's a 3 tender. Spicy or mild?
Spicy.
And what side of you gonna back that thing up for them saints this year?
Barbecue.
And what side of you gonna drop it like it's hot?
Red beans.
And what kind of drink you gonna set it off with?
Strawberry no ice.
Strawberry Fanta off the rocks?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else? Cajun rice or coleslaw?
That's it, love. Trying to wash that waistline.
Say that there, watch that waistline, you hear me? So that's a 3 spicy tender with the red bean, barbecue sauce, twerk that thing with strawberry off the rocks, you hear me? 927, keep it real, ride it out, baby. You already know.
You already know, love.
All right, come on around, honey dumpling.
I wish every Popeye sang to me. Because she's just keeping it real, Caleb.
Yeah.
She's keeping it real. Good chicken, keeping it real.
That's right.
I just, I love it. I love it. We have a guest today. Our guest is walking in the door. We'll talk to him in a second.
Perfect timing.
Our guest has weird type. That's great. We have a guest today. You may know him. You may love him from the other Mopcast Network shows, The Catacombs, which we haven't done in a while, and we'll talk to him about that during this interview. And we're also going to talk, he's also on My Star Wars Life. And so Drew Hall's going to be joining us shortly. And so we're going to have some fun there. We're just going to talk about how old and curmudgeonly we've become. So just buckle up for that. Or maybe turn into like, Caleb, you saw Star Trek 2, Caleb, right?
Yeah.
You know, Star Trek 2 at the end of Star Trek 2 becomes very like hopeful. You know, they see Spock's grave on the planet and they're like, they're asking Kirk how he feels. And he's like, I feel young. Maybe at the end of this conversation with Drew will look to camera and say he feels young again. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm just trying to be hopeful.
Yeah.
We'll just see. But stay tuned for that. That's gonna be next.
Uh-oh. Ketchup.
Oh! I wish somebody would invent a ketchup bottle that squirts where you aim it.
Mrs. Porter, I've got the next best thing. A new invention from Procter & Gamble. It absorbs like magic. It's called Bounty, the new paper towel that actually attracts moisture. Watch. See Bounty attracting, absorbing moisture. That's because it's more than just paper. It's made a unique new way from a special formula of 6 ingredients, spun into a wonderful new towel. Look again. Compare it to the leading towel. See how Bounty attracts, drinks, sucks up spills faster.
Sort of feels different, too, doesn't it?
Go ahead. Pop it.
Why, it even sounds strong.
No other towel is made like Bounty in regular and jumbo size. Hurry. Get new Bounty. It absorbs like magic.
Drew, what's up? How you doing? You got a shoot today and everything.
Yeah. We traveled in.
I pulled you off work.
Yeah, I was literally traveling in from Hattiesburg.
Hattiesburg.
And there's actually finally a restaurant there called Hattie's Burger.
Ooh.
I wonder, but someone told me that's been around forever, like the idea, but no one had ever coined the term Hattie's Burger.
Yeah, like nobody went through with it.
No, they just sat there with it.
Well, we should try that. We should go there and try it.
You should go to Hattiesburg because there's a place there called Lucky Rabbit.
Okay.
So we were scouting, right? So this is for another Super Bowl commercial for a client there. And we go into Lucky Rabbit. And first off, you walk through the door, and there's it's an antique store, but not the normal kind.
Right.
It's a pop culture antique store.
Cool.
So there's crap everywhere. For example, do you remember the old McDonald's playground that you would climb up inside of the burger jail?
Yeah.
They have that. We won't fit, but they have it.
Caleb might.
No, I probably wouldn't even. Yeah.
They have that.
Tiny,
well, I mean, I would pay him to do it.
Right.
I'll take the money.
He's stuck. But they have that. So I got my picture with. They actually have the old bench with Ronald sitting on it. I got my picture with Ronald. So my point is, they have all that stuff. Well, they also build a set, an actual set. They recreate it. So Last month, it was The Office. So you literally walk in and they have recreated The Office. I think it was Michael Scott's office.
Right.
But it's got all the tchotchkes and all the stuff. And so it's like standing in a set. This time it was one of the hotel rooms from Schitt's Creek. And it's like really well done.
Oh, that's cool.
And so that's just, but then there's tchotchkes and stuff and stickers and just things everywhere. And like, it was literally, I called you during it because I was like, there's all this Star Wars stuff that's like, it's like sensory overload. But it's actually a pleasant town for a college town.
Right.
And then there's a spot there. Do you collect records? Are you a record guy?
I have some vinyl. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
I'm
They have a record store there called T-Bones. And it's magical to me because you walk in and it's just comfortable.
Right.
First off. But what's great is it's a record store and it's a coffee shop and it's a bar and it's the best damn sandwiches I've ever had in my life. And it's all right there.
Cool.
And that kind of stuff that's college only kind of shit.
Right,
You know, it just doesn't exist. And so being able to go into there and see that stuff, and I go to T-Bones, and every time I go for that client, I get inspired and I go to T-Bones and I find a record and something stupid happens. And then Lucky Rabbit now is like insane. Only open on the weekends, 2 days a week. Massive empire of business. Did you get shocked?
No, there's a gnat or something. It was like,
it might be for me. Who knows?
No,
I was in Mississippi. Right to that camera.
And we have no Mississippi viewers now.
No, but I mean, it was interesting. So I'm telling all that to say, like, I came back super inspired of like, oh my God, what great ideas. What beautiful inspiration of content. These people, they had a bus attached to the building that the doors were cut out. There was plastic flaps. It was freezing cold, obviously. You walked in, the entire bus was nothing but vintage Pyrex.
Oh, really?
And it was all kinds of colors. And it's just such a weird image that you're like, this is alien but familiar, and it just is the kind of thing that, like, for somebody like me from a creator standpoint, I would do anything to host a podcast or a show in there.
Yeah, well, we may have to reach out.
Oh yeah, they're super nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
we'll definitely have to reach
anyway,
out.
that was
how far is Hattiesburg from here?
It's only like 70 miles, 85 miles.
Oh, really?
It's like like a $1.20 to get there, hour 20.
Okay, cool.
It's not bad.
And $2,000 in gas.
That is fact.
Yeah.
Especially when you drive a truck.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I had to put, I have the pickup. It's kind of funny story. So I have the craft show truck, and then Scotty, and then Chris Skoda asked me, one of my employees asked me, he was like, hey man, do you think we could ever get another vehicle? He has a Mini Cooper. He's 6 foot tall and drives a fucking Mini Cooper.
Yeah.
First off, can I cuss on the show because it's too late?
No, you're already okay.
And
it's the Mopcast Network. We're known to say 4-letter words.
That's right. So he's 6 foot tall, drives a Mini Cooper, which makes little sense to me. And now all of a sudden he's in a situation where he's like, do you think
I have a gnat? Sorry, I have a gnat trying to record. And it's like, get off my
maybe he's got an opinion.
This was his opinion. What's up? I'm looking for moisture. Where's the moisture?
Is that what they're attracted to?
Yeah. So you know, gnats go to your eyes. They're looking for moisture.
I will spit, and they can just swim in the spit.
Right.
But they won't swim in my spit.
No, they want those eyes.
No.
They want that eye.
They want that eye
stuff.
You think there's some kind of moisture about your eyes that's different than other moisture?
I mean, probably maybe saltier. I don't know.
Oh, fair enough.
I mean, who knows?
Oh, they want their tears. I feel it. Now it's on me. That's fine.
Just send it to you.
Yeah, I got glasses.
I do too, but I decided not to wear them.
I've been going back and forth. It's sometimes I find myself. Do you ever find yourself taking your glasses up to see something, which makes no sense whatsoever? Yeah.
There we go. So now we're glasses buddies.
Yeah.
Well, now I got to join in.
Oh.
There we go.
Welcome to the 6 Eye Club.
When did you get your glasses? Yours are recent.
I've had a year, about a year.
Yeah, I'm 2 or 3 years now.
So it was dramatic because I was like, so this was during the pandemic. I went to the grocery store and I couldn't see. Like from the something happened between the daylight to the darkness shit.
Right.
And suddenly I was like, I couldn't see things.
Right, like randomly.
Right.
It feels random.
Right. Right. Yeah. It wasn't like, I was like, I just could see a minute ago. Why can't I see now?
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, maybe I should get that checked out.
Yeah.
And the big secret about me is I've never had an eye exam.
Same here.
Ever.
Right.
And so I was 43 at the time. Never had an eye exam. So I went to an eye exam and then I thought I could see. And then he was like, did his thing.
Right.
And then I saw what true vision was like.
Yeah. It's literally the most depressing thing in the world when it happens. You're like, oh shit. Like, I can see. Like,
do you remember those?
I am blind.
Do you remember those allergy commercials that have
Yeah,
allergy pill commercials?
yeah.
And you're looking at that looks
Yeah.
great, and they pull it away. It's like, oh, that's what my experience was.
That's exactly right.
And so, and I've noticed that I wear mostly when I'm driving, but because I can see well, I see if I wear them for a little while, it's like, okay, we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
And then they kind of go, well, we're going out of focus.
Yeah.
And then you need to put them back on.
Yeah.
And then, so which is probably not what I should do.
Mine is screens. Screens are blurrier.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I can see pretty well right now. Like, there's no blur. I mean, things are soft. I would call it soft and sharper. But a screen is where it's always soft to me. Like, I'm like, is that a cue? You know, it's one of those kind of things.
Right. And I was talking to the optometrist, and he was like, why one eye's weaker than the other, and he was like, oh, that's because of screens, and was explaining why, because it's the way you look up, and one eye compensates for the other. But it was funny when I got that 20/20 vision, because I thought I had it, did not.
I mean, I would say
I'm okay, but I have progressives because I'm old, and and because I can see closer, and then I was like, I want to see everything. I don't want. He's like, well, we can give you just options. I was like, I want to see it all. Why?
I did one. I have a single focal, but mine's enough that it's just enough to give me the detail that I can see everything fairly well from that side of it. But I got astigmatism. So my eyeballs are shaped weird. Or like that or some shit. I don't know.
The thing that's surprised me most about the eye exam was that thing where you look, they're checking glaucoma, I guess, and they blow
the puff of air.
Oh yeah,
did not warn me. They're like, hey, look at this. Okay, whoosh.
Yeah, that's just how it works.
It's just and then I mentioned that to somebody, and they were like, oh, they used to just touch it in the old days, and I'm like, I don't know if I can let anyone touch my eye. I don't know.
I'm not okay with any of that.
That's why I don't that's why I don't have contacts.
Me too, man. I'm scared to death of them. I will poke my eye.
Nah, it's not so bad. So it took me a while. I got contacts. I usually use them when I'm filming because I don't like to put an eyepiece to my glasses and stuff. So I usually use them when I'm filming, and I got used to it. Right.
Yep.
And so you just fold them, and you get them. Like, I get them in there. I got a way of doing it. But like, actually, I went and saw this. I had to go to YouTube, which is the world's greatest instructor, right? YouTube University. And so on there, there was like this young lady who was like talking about putting in cosplay contacts.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And I've done that. I was Grand Admiral Thrawn in a video. And putting in those red was a nightmare because there's a big difference. So first off, a regular contact, you put it in, it hits your eye, and you're like, whoa, that feels weird.
Right.
And it's cool, but you just feel it settle in.
Right.
No problem. And to get them out, I can't pull them out of my eye.
Right.
So I use this same lady showed she uses a Q-tip. You fold it in half and make pinchers. You wet it with the cleaner, and you just pluck it out. It's easy. Like, that part's not hard. It's very simple that way.
Right.
But I can't touch my eye. It freaks me out.
Yeah.
Those other ones, when people put those in, it covers your entire eyeball. So you think a contact's just covering the pupil.
Right.
This is your entire eyeball. You feel it inside of your eye.
No.
So when I would look around, I would feel it move. It is the weirdest sensation.
I'm horrified by this whole conversation.
And so the only
It's
way I
making
could
my
figure out
eyes
how
water.
to fit them in is you had to fold them over and pull my eyelid down and shove one piece down in, and then pull the eyelid up and let it go, and it would slide in and then I'd have my red eyes. It was insane. I don't know how any actor or anybody that does cosplay. I have so much more respect for anybody.
There's so much appreciation for
when
that.
they go that hardcore. I don't get it. I mean, that's a contact, fine, but those special effects, that is a whole nother game. You're supposed to actually have someone with they're supposed to have an which is the non-doc. They're both doctors. Which one is the less serious doctor of eyes? Optometry.
Sure, I'm going with that.
But anyway, whatever one it is, they stick the eyeball in there and go with it.
Okay.
They're supposed to do it. You're supposed to go to that. It's really weird, like the union rules.
See, I'd be like, can we CGI this stuff?
No joke.
Right?
They did that on The Hobbit.
It's like
they changed his eyes.
Y'all can fix stuff now, right? I don't have to wear the stuff.
Yeah, but think about how hard it would be to track that shit.
Well, it's not my job. It's someone else's job.
Yeah,
it's an optometrist because ophthalmologist is the more serious one.
Oh,
there you
ophthalmologist.
Yeah.
So we're learning stuff every day here on this podcast.
I think it's fantastic.
Speaking of bad eyes, I want to lean into this. So I had a crisis.
Yeah.
And I think I texted you or put it in our little chat we have about this. But if you watch my Star Wars life or know me at all,
good grief,
you know that I did not care for the Book of Boba Fett.
Sure.
And so 2 weeks ago, the premiere Picard which I didn't think Picard season 1. I like it. I don't think it stuck the landing.
Yeah, sure.
I saw the first episode and hated it.
Oh, it's terrible.
And then afterwards, I saw the Batman, and I also hated it.
Right.
And so I know I'm in the majority on the Batman because it's going to make $1 billion. We're going to get 50 more of them.
Right.
And
they've already talked about a series.
Right.
Yeah. Well, they've got 2 shows in the work.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's like I'm at the point where I feel like this is what old is.
Yes, I understand.
Maybe I don't understand how this works, and maybe I'm more comfortable to watch a CSI or a Law and Order.
Now I'm going to tell you about some Law and Order.
Maybe some Blue Bloods.
No, I would never watch it. As soon as you go to Tom Selleck, it's over. I'm going to euthanize you. That is it. I will take you to Portland, and I will put you down, sir. I will put you down. Here's the thing. Law and Order came back. Law and Order's back.
Right.
And I watched it. So I'm with you. I was excited because it's new. I was like, oh, it's the dude from Burn Notice.
Right.
I forgot his name already. And it's Anthony Daniels. Nope. Anthony Anthony Anderson, who I absolutely adore. He's funny from Blackish.
Right.
Cool. And then Sam Waterston's the DA now. It's like fun. Right. I watched Law and Order all during college.
I did not. I
loved it. It's Skittles.
It's
like wrestling is Skittles for me.
Right.
It is Skittles.
I got you.
You know what they do?
What do they do?
They earn you.
Do they earn me?
They earn every moment they give you. They earn it.
So they figured that part out.
Yeah,
maybe
because they got 20-something seasons of it. It's shot like shit. You don't think about it. You
it's just like.
All right, but I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're right. Now you're making me like, well, maybe I should just watch Law and Order and just.
Or CSI and NCIS,
or I can't do it.
NBC is the 911 channel. It's got 911.
The one night. There's one night of it's like fire,
911 Lone Stars,
medic. No, it's like Chicago.
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's Chicago.
No, CBS has got the Chicago shows. It's like
I don't know.
There's like a.
Chicago Fire.
No, that is NBC. NBC also has the Chicago shows. It's
they have the Chicago night, and you have Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and Chicago ER or something.
Right. So it's
and they have crossover events.
Yep,
of course they do.
So they're the comic book TV shows.
Yeah, but you know what? They get ratings.
Yeah, but
unfortunately from old people.
You're right, because you become old and you're like, well, I'm going to settle in for night and see what this 911 call is about. Because did you watch Rescue 911 back in the day?
Oh yeah, of course.
William Shatner.
100%.
Kayla, are you familiar with it? Because you're younger.
I've heard of it.
All right, so for those in the audience who are not familiar, in the late 80s, early 90s,
that's correct.
Was
it Fox?
CBS.
CBS
had a show called Rescue 911 where they would take real 911 calls and reenact them, because because Unsolved Mysteries was big, and so this is kind of piggybacking on that. Instead of the mystery, we're going through the traumatic event,
right?
And so, but it was hosted by William Shatner, which was weird.
Yep.
And so,
and it was all day players. It weren't like they weren't actors you recognize or anything like that.
No, it's like. It's like you were a body on CSI. Sweet, now you can be in Rescue 911.
Exactly. If my resume read body on CSI, I have a great chance of getting myself into being, something else.
Right, because back then, not CSI, but I guess back then Law and Order was around, so you could be a body on Law and Order.
Yeah, you could have met Jerry Orbach.
Right, you could have met Jerry.
Big deal for me.
Right, could be an alien on Star Trek.
That is correct.
T.J. Hooker was still around.
Oh, T.J. Hooker was early 80s.
Yeah, T.J. Hooker was gone.
Well, Rescue 9. I'm looking at Rescue 911.
Was it?
Oh no, it had just ended.
Yeah,
by like a few years.
Yeah, because that was on.
Like T.J. Hooker was.
It was 86, and then Rescue 911 started in 89.
Yeah, Heather Locklear was. She was the hottest police officer ever. Yep. Unless, well, I find Heather Locklear from that time period way more attractive than who was Barbed Wire, and she's got the movie right now, the show out.
Pamela Anderson.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's kind of a cop in Baywatch.
Sure, like
cop of the ocean, cop of the sand. I don't know. She runs in slow motion, things bounce, everybody wins.
I only do shrimp law.
Oh my god! Yeah,
it's the cousin to bird law.
That's exactly.
I bust only seagulls. We do seagull specific crime.
Oh my god!
Can't stop throwing Alka-Seltzer at the seagulls.
By the way, that was a big. I think that's real. I don't know for sure.
Well, you shouldn't do that because apparently it like expands their stomachs.
They pop.
Yeah. So
Allegedly.
So I mean, I'm not testing this theory, but
I mean, I don't know.
This podcast is not sponsored by PETA, but I'm just saying.
Or Alka-Seltzer.
Alka-Seltzer. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz, exploding seagull you is.
That's fantastic.
That's a wow, that was what a tangent. But so I wanted to talk about, you haven't seen the Batman yet, right?
I still haven't seen it.
All right, so we want to talk the Batman.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care. I mean, if you know me by now, I
right, but I do want to talk Picard.
Have you seen the new Scream?
No,
I have.
Okay, well, I could talk the new Scream.
All right, I was going to watch the new Scream, and then because it's on Peacock, no, Paramount.
Yeah,
it's on Paramount.
It's on Paramount, the other P one, and
place where you watch your Picard.
The place where that's how I knew Scream was there.
Oh, I watch it on Amazon, but I guess through
it's a Paramount show,
yeah.
And but I did not see Scream 4.
Doesn't matter.
That's what I'm.
It doesn't like. They reference it, but it's not important.
No, it doesn't matter.
Oh, it's okay because I can watch it safely.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem is you're going to understand it in literally 7 minutes.
Well, it's because I
turned to Sarah and I was like, I paused it. I turned to my wife who loves horror movies and loves specifically slasher.
Yeah.
So Scream is like on the platform. She was so excited. I was like, that, and just listed the whole thing. She was like, if you're right, that's a load of shit. And I was like, well, I'm going to be right because I can tell you from like.
I can tell from because I'm a big Scream fan.
Yeah.
So like, I predicted what this like on the podcast. I predicted that before it came out. I was like, it's a requel.
Yeah. They do anyway.
I hate Hollywood requel,
but it's a problem, right? It's a problem. Right. Nostalgia has become a major issue for me. Like, name something original. Name an original show that's out right now. I can name one.
Show or movie?
Let's go with the show for now. Because we were just talking TV.
Original show
that does not reach for nostalgia. I got one, and I got only one.
What's that?
Maybe two. The first one for me would be Raised by Wolves.
Okay.
Completely unique, batshit crazy, does its own thing. But I'd argue that I'm not going to say Peacemaker because Peacemaker is still based on a property that exists, right? So original show that only exists in its own world,
right?
As far as I know, is Raised by Wolves.
Until he attaches it to Alien.
That I think he's on his way. Trust me, last episode.
Outer Banks.
Outer Banks. Are you going to drama? Sure. Did you have to Google that? You did, didn't you?
I'm looking
I see you. I can see you.
I got one that you like. Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso is an original show. Sure.
Yeah.
But it's actually based on an article. So it's not original.
Well, it's based on he had the character before.
It's correct. So it's still, to me, it's not an original piece. Now it's based on it, but it's still.
He's been doing Ted Lasso for years.
Yeah.
But
I mean, character.
Yeah. Character on
and they expand it. So what I'm saying is it's very rare to find. We see less of that than we do.
I think I do movies better, but then
movies is
movies
different.
is a little easier to.
How many Oscar films have you seen this year?
0. I'm protesting.
Really?
Oh, I'm super protesting the Oscars.
That stupid fan.
No, it has 110% the fact that they cut the technicals.
Oh
from
yeah,
the
they
Oscars.
cut the technicals. So yeah,
that is absolutely not acceptable.
Yeah, they cut the technicals, and
they still have them. They're just not showing them.
They're not showing, but it's a major. They cut major stuff. Cut the short films. Fine, get rid of them. Sorry, George, they're gone.
Right,
shorts are out. I don't give a shit. Get rid of them. I mean, seriously, and I had a friend get nominated, but like, get it gone.
I think the biggest one for me that they cut was editing.
They cut editing, which is how the performance is made.
Yeah.
They cut hair and makeup.
Right.
Yep.
Is it hair and makeup or costumes?
Hold on.
It's one of the two. They cut sound design.
Right.
Okay, you shoot the movie. Fine, let's just make silent films and see how they do.
Well,
yeah.
I don't think it's the Academy.
It's them trying to cut for time.
It's cut for time.
Right. Because that's the biggest complaint about the Oscars is
right, but it's like, okay, so it further proves my point, which is they're ashamed.
But the real
no, they are ashamed. Do you know why the Oscars started?
No, I have no idea actually.
Because of television.
No, they were older than TV.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
They're okay. So.
Oh wait, wasn't it a gimmick to keep the actors happy or something like it was like a studio gimmick?
Right, it was a studio gimmick. Because they didn't want them to unionize.
That's it. That's right.
They didn't want them to unionize, so they just like, no, we love you, you. We'll build an academy to celebrate you.
Yeah,
and
right.
They still unionize after anyway, but because but this was back when they were contract players.
Yeah.
And so, so I love the Oscars, and I've loved the Oscars since I was little. And I think most people who got into film or love movies love the Oscars. Over time, they get jaded, and I get it. I never got jaded because I've always known it's a sham.
Yeah.
It is literally them patting themselves on the back for a good job that they did.
Oh, 100%.
Because I mean,
all the awards are though.
I think, right. But the Oscars are incredibly egregious about it.
Yeah.
I mean, the Grammys will at least acknowledge the fact that the highest grossing song or record album of the year will get nominated because the money.
Exactly.
The biggest movie of the year will get one technical award.
Yep. But now they're not even on there anymore.
Yeah, well, they're there, but they just can't watch it.
Because look, I mean, that's why this year they did the stupid fan cast.
Right.
Because they didn't want to put Spider-Man on their list, even though it's the film everybody saw.
So some of it's popular, but for me, it's like those are the technicians and people that represent like that make production value work. They cut those.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm surprised they kept cinematography.
Yeah,
and it's a major middle finger to like the sound department. Like again, go back to it, and then they cut back original score. Like what are we doing? The emotion of the movie is the score. Like, and it goes to what you had said earlier.
Right.
This is where I old man.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think anyone gives a shit anymore. This is where I rant. I don't think people care about earning story. They don't care about earning their audience. They don't care. And I've said this before in other stuff. And I use Star Wars as a reference because that's the only fandom that I'm really about.
Right.
Like that's the one that I live and die by. I've been there. But it's like, I see most content as being, I say a turd, but it could just be anything. It could be a log if you wanted. It doesn't matter.
Right.
But it seems like content comes out now, and the way it comes out is sprinkles. So you have these beautiful sprinkles. They could be all different colors and shiny and just awesome looking. They look amazing. They look amazing is the key phrase, but they have no flavor, and they do nothing to prevent the fact that you're still eating a turd or a log, whichever one you want to choose. And so people seem to only do this. When I see people talk about content, they don't talk about, I used to go see a movie, we'd walk out of the movie, we talk about the movie, not moments, we talk about the whole. The Matrix is the best example of it ever, right?
I had a most riveting conversation about the Batman after I left it.
See, that's good. Okay, that's good.
Right.
But I think Matt Reeves cares, right? I think that whether or not he earns stuff is a different thing from but I do think he cares because he did some interesting detail.
Did he write
work.
the script?
Can
you go find out who writes the script?
I think he did. I think he was involved.
No, I think he's an ampersand, which is a join.
Yeah, okay. But because really, whoever wrote 7 should have got the damn script.
Yeah,
I mean, it basically is 7. Yeah.
No, not basically. It's 7.
Yeah.
It's not. No, basically,
it was
2.
him. It was him along with Peter Craig.
All right.
So ampersand or and? Does it say credit wise?
Hold on.
See, whenever
I'm not on a great website to figure that out.
If you don't know, like some people may not know, like if you ever see in a script where it has an ampersand, that's a joined. That's a team.
Right.
If there's an and, somebody did some rewrites.
What's the better place to look
it's
for
usually
that?
the last person who touches it. So it's the first person who originates it, and the last person to touch it, depending on how arbitration went.
That's right. You're right.
So.
I mean, it gets into all that's what ruins stuff. When you know all that, you can look at credits and be like, ooh, this is a shit show.
Especially if there's multiple ands.
Yeah, oh, buddy. When I see that stack, I'm like, oh, how many rewrites did we get to? Yeah, that's a terrible situation.
It's ampersand.
Okay, there we go. So, all right, so you can condemn that part of it.
Right.
I'm just saying, at least you had a conversation, whether it was good or bad, it stirred something, right? But maybe you talked about the whole of it and go back to that. My problem is most of the time what I see is moments. And everyone I know that saw the Batman, I got mixed reviews from people. We can use this as a platform.
Yeah.
I heard a couple of things. Are we spoiling anything?
Yeah, we'll spoil it.
We can,
because this, by the time
because I've seen it, he's seen it.
So one part of it was people would be like, "Oh, his armor's cool." Okay, sprinkle. Oh, his the cinematography's cool. Sprinkle, definite sprinkle. Maybe a couple sprinkles, but that's sprinkles. And then somebody would say, "Oh, the Batmobile chase sequence was one of the coolest things ever." Sprinkle. Right. And they're talking about moments. Those are sprinkles.
Right.
No one except for you, the conversation, and I know we're going to get there,
that
you and I had. Well, then my buddy's like, yeah, the only problem is like at the end, the Riddler just completely departs character and becomes somebody else. Right. Multiple people said that. Like he leaves this space and becomes.
I agree.
It doesn't make sense what happens. Like it's just kind of out of the norm. All right, cool. That's not a sprinkle. That's an actual story beat. So there's one. But the majority of stuff I heard was like, if you like the fighting of Arkham, and it's all little sprinkle bits.
Right.
Rarely is someone giving me the whole.
It's like they went and said, okay, people love 7.
Yeah.
Generally. So
Yeah.
let's make Batman 7.
Right.
And then they was like, oh, the kids all like Arkham Asylum, so let's make all the fight scenes like Arkham Asylum, which they did.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like, and then they were like, are kids still playing GTA? Let's do
interesting.
Let's
nice
do that.
nodded.
And so that's all of these are fine. I'm not against it. My problem is a story has to make me care.
Yeah.
And this doesn't make me care.
Right.
And this is why it doesn't make me care. And here's the spoiler for you.
I
know you don't care. That's why I'm saying. Here's the spoiler for you. The Riddler is killing people, but he's killing corrupt politicians.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's not killing innocent civilians. He's killing bad people, which guys is a crime. You're not supposed to kill bad.
Right.
And I get it, but I'm like,
yeah, right. You Larry David it? Did you Larry David it?
I was like,
yeah, with you. I get it.
And I'm like, what would make this so much better and more interesting is instead of Riddler killing the target, his family, his friends.
Right. So there, that's like depth.
Right.
And they're earning the pain.
Right. And
100%.
it's
100%.
But it's like the crime is more real because it's innocence.
Yeah.
And then, at the end of the day, everyone can get their comeuppance or whatever.
Yep.
Or if you feel like the death of their family is their penance enough, you can reward them that way as well. But there's this whole thing about like there's a big secret that's going to destroy Gotham. And when you find out the big city destroys Gotham, you're like, Gothamites know this.
Yeah, right.
Well,
right.
And so,
not everybody.
What are they living on top of a ever burning fire?
No.
From Silent Hill?
Not everybody truly knew that information. Because not even Bruce knew, and it involves his legacy.
No. At the end of the day,
spoil it. Just say it.
At the end of the day, you find out that Thomas and Martha Wayne had a fund that they were trying to.
It was supposed to go to the poor.
Goes to the poor, but like all funds that go through government, gets used for other things, including criminal activity. And so at the end of the day, you're like, and
like, do you not know how this works?
So how do you think? So when Batman finds out this information, how do you think he solves the day? End of the day, how do you think he's like solves the movie?
I guess he gives money to the poor.
No, you would think that's what he would do, right? Because he would like, oh, I have to protect this legacy. I will make sure this goes right. No, he dresses up as a bat and helps people get on helicopters.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Well,
that's
a skipping.
I understand there's a football stadium or something blowing up. I saw in the trailers.
But he's like, I'm going to help get people on the heli instead of like.
Wait, Batman's an escort?
Yeah,
he's a chaperone?
Right, yeah. Let's get these people on the helicopters.
But Zoe Kravitz was good in it. The acting was good.
Everybody was good.
Yeah,
I like
everybody was
Robert Pattinson as Batman. I like his Batman looks like he could use a sandwich, but we've had a lot of larger Batmans, like muscular.
Yeah.
And he's athletic, but he's real lean.
He's lean. Yeah.
He's lean. I was like, get this man a burger.
But in a suit, he's not lean.
He's still kind of lean.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's kind of lean.
Is there any bat nipples?
Not really. No.
I was talking about bat nipples the other day. Do you remember that? Like the debacle of the Joel Schumacher Batman?
Yeah.
I don't want those back. You earned the stories were earned,
right?
But I don't want that. I don't need that back.
No, don't need that.
Could he be someone special?
I think she's kinda neat.
Maybe he likes me.
Maybe she likes me. Wonder if we'll meet.
It's so hard, but when the heart parts through,
that's when we go for something easy,
like A&W. Nothing so smooth as A&W. Nothing so smooth as A&W.
All right, so you knew I couldn't do my first show here without my best friends. So I pulled them in from the Cult Movie Canteen, Our Lady of Libation, Stephanie, and our Angelical Jester, Justina.
Hello.
And I'm going to do something different with them and everyone since the first episode. No one knows about it. I'm going to read a story to you, and I want you to comment along as you see fit. And so,
all right, talk shit about your story. Got you.
Well, it's not my story; it's a story. I didn't
about the story.
About the story.
Got you.
And we'll probably talk about this more on our show.
Right.
But this story is inspired by what recently happened at the Academy Awards.
You mean the smack heard around the world?
The smack version. So that inspired me to do this. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
What if I told you that the first Academy Awards were not created to celebrate achievement in the motion pictures, but rather to keep actors, directors, and writers from unionizing?
Say what?
I believe it.
I'll repeat that again.
I know, I heard you, man. It's like, what?
Louis B. Mayer was the West Coast chief of the movie studio that bore his name, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer.
Wasn't he the one that was horrible to Judy Garland?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
just making that clear.
Yeah. You'll understand where this is coming.
Okay.
And he saw L.A. as his city.
My city.
While not formally educated, he had a business savvy about him.
He did.
And he was a problem solver.
Aren't we all? In a
There you
way?
go.
What you need to be as a movie executive. You need to
Right,
solve
right.
it. And he had a problem. You know what his problem was?
Divas.
No.
No.
How do you make divas
You mean
happy?
actors wanted to be paid? Was
No.
that his problem?
Nope, wasn't his problem. His
Was it?
problem was he needed a house.
Oh, this is a personal problem.
This was a problem.
Personal problem.
And not just any house.
He wanted the biggest house in Hollywood?
It had to be a palace.
The biggest house in Hollywood.
Something that announced his status and that of the status of his wife and his teenage daughters.
And also the status of his penis size, clearly.
Which was very small.
Very small. The smallest in all the land.
So
Unlike his palace.
they picked a place on Santa Monica Beach for his penis palace.
Yeah, the penis palace on Santa
We're
Monica
gonna start
Beach.
calling it pee-pee.
But
Yeah.
who was going to build it? I mean, houses need to be built, right?
I'm not sure who were house builders back
At this
in that
point,
day.
you could YouTube it and do it yourself, but he doesn't seem like that kind of guy.
Well, this was way before the
this is
YouTube.
100
Well, even if it was around today,
Yeah.
like,
This
like
was
at that
in
point,
the
he would
30s?
still probably not do it himself.
Right.
Or 20s.
He
20s
would
or 30s.
This is
dirty his
early.
hands.
This is mid 20s. Yeah,
Mid-20s.
1920s.
So there's no YouTube.
I'm just saying, even if there was, he wouldn't use it.
He built his house, sir.
So people need to be houses need to be built.
Right.
There had to be people to do it, from architects to carpenters and electricians.
Right.
And then he had an idea. He thought of the studio. If they needed a set, they just built it overnight. They needed a village, they built it in a week. They didn't have to have the mercy of contractors. He had a studio of builders who could help.
Oh, shit.
The problem was the studio was about to sign an agreement with what soon would be known as the International Alliance of Theatrical and Stage Employees, or IATSE.
Right.
These carpenters, electricians, painters, and all that unionized
Right.
right beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
And so he now had to deal with a union. So he had to, if he's going to use labor, he's going to have to secure rates of pay, overtime, things
Weird.
like that.
If I'm gonna put people to work, I have to treat them
And
fairly
God,
and
you mean I
poorly
have to? They're going to build my house, and I also have to pay them.
Yeah.
and give them
The
hours
hell you
with
say?
breaks.
Right. And so it was suggested that instead of using all of the studio labor, he would use some top skilled people and then hire cheap labor for the rest.
For the finishing, yeah.
That's what I want for my palace. Cheap labor. I need some cheap
You can
labor on the
get cheap
PP
labor to
palace,
paint.
please.
I mean, let's be honest. You can get the cheap labor to paint.
But at the same
Fine.
time, you know
So-
the phrase, you get what you pay for.
Exactly.
The house was designed he had this idea in January, and so this is how it was done. He hired a few skilled laborers and skilled people from the studio and got the rest for cheap labor, and then the house was ready to move in a few months by spring.
Wow.
Then it fell apart on top of him, and he cried in his little rumble house.
No, it's a beautiful house. It was a beautiful house.
Is it still there?
I believe so. But Louis was savvy, and he was thinking about the union issues he just had. If the studio labor force was unionizing, then what kept actors, directors, and writers from doing the same thing? Now, don't get me wrong. After all, they made terrific salaries as long as they did what they were told. But if they got in their head, if they needed, like, I don't know, health benefits or pensions or, God forbid, a cut of the profits.
Yeah.
That would be
That's
terrible.
I just built this palace. I don't need it to go
No,
away.
no, we're talking about the actors.
I know. He doesn't need it to go away.
So Mayer created the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences. Its purpose was to be a public relations operation that pumped out the message that Hollywood was a wonderful place where delightful and thrilling stories were made to give the folks at home a good time. And awards. You can't forget the awards. People need shiny things and to feel recognized.
Yes, they do.
Give me something shiny. I'll be happy.
So let me
you a nippler?
let me understand. If you're a member, wait a minute. Okay, you can be a SAG and also a member of the Academy now.
Yeah, because the
but back in the day you couldn't.
No.
Would you not?
Because there was no SAG back in the day.
Yeah, there was no SAG
So
back in the day.
the Academy is like, and SAG is a union.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So
the Academy is not. The Academy is just a fake thing.
So you were just like, you could be a member, because I saw a rumor that Will Smith is resigning.
No, he has resigned.
Yeah,
from the Academy, and I'm like, you can do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can do that.
Yeah, you can totally resign from the Academy.
So okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, he resigned on Friday, as of this recording.
Okay.
So, yeah. The story goes that Cedric Gibbons did a sketch on a tablecloth of a man holding a sword to his feet and using it to pin down reels of a film. That became the Oscar. The official name of the statue is called the Academy Award of Merit.
Really?
Yeah, it's not called
I didn't
the Oscar.
know that.
It's
Where did Oscar come from?
So a few years later, librarian to the Academy, Margaret Herrick, said that the statue looked like her uncle Oscar, and then the name stuck.
Oh shit!
Or how the story goes. Betty Davis disagrees. She was the president of the Academy in 1941 and claims she named it after her first husband, Herman Oscar Nelson.
Nice. I believe Betty Davis. Let's be honest. Who you gonna believe?
I don't know either of them. So
what?
Neither.
You don't know
They're
Betty
both
Davis?
liars.
She's got Betty Davis eyes. I'm just saying.
The Will Smith Chris Rock slap was just the latest in a string of controversies that started from the very first ceremony in 1929.
I believe it.
The first person to get the Oscar was Emil Jannings, who would later produce propaganda films for Nazis.
Oh shit! Okay.
He had won Best Actor for two films, The Last Command and The Way of All Flesh. For both movies that year, he won the award. However, he didn't receive the most votes to win.
Oh, you mean it's like a real political election, like a presidential election?
Right. The real
you
winner,
can win without the most votes.
Right. The real winner was Rin Tin Tin, an 11-year-old German Shepherd who was rescued by U.S. airmen in France. He starred in 27 films, including 4 that was released the same year of the first awards ceremony. Rin Tin Tin had the most votes, but Meyer thought it would undermine the integrity of the award and gave it to Emil, who was the second place vote getter and, most importantly, human.
I'm just saying that I've seen Rin Tin Tin in action, and he deserved that award. He was a fantastic actor and a beautiful German Shepherd.
The first awards, the winners were announced 3 months earlier. For the second ceremony and the rest of the 1930s, the results were given to the newspapers for publication at 11 p.m. on the night of the awards. From 1940 on, it was announced of the night, and that's because the LA Times announced the winners before the ceremony.
What was the first TV publication?
Probably not until the 60s.
Okay.
So from 1940, the LA Times announced the winners and before the ceremony began. So in 1941, and every ceremony after, the Academy started using sealed envelopes to reveal and name the winners. Hattie McDaniel, who won the Best Supporting Actress for her portrayal
Gone with the Wind
of Mammy in Gone with the
Yes.
Wind, making her the first Black American to win an Academy Award. Because of the hotel's strict no blacks policy, director David O. Selznick had to call in a special favor so she would just be allowed into the building for the award ceremony.
Just the award. Can you imagine that shit?
He gets worse.
Terrible.
It gets worse. She was not escorted to the Gone with the Wind table where Selznick sat with his film leads Vivian Leigh and Clark Gable, and Olivia de Havilland, but she was put in a table against the wall.
It's
Far
terrible.
You did a wonderful job. Now sit against the wall, please.
You're winning an
I would have
award, but fuck you because you're black. That's terrible.
Yeah, that's how it was. In 1935, Dudley Nichols refused his Oscar for winning for The Informer because of a boycott by the Writers Guild. He accepted the award 3 years later. In 1969, Barbra Streisand and Katharine Hepburn tied for Best Actress. This is the only time this has happened in history. Both actresses had exactly 3,030 votes, so the Academy decided to award the Oscar to both for Hepburn for Lady in the Winter and Streisand for Funny Girl. Hepburn didn't attend, so Streisand accepted alone.
Nice.
In 1971, George C. Scott declined his award for Patton based on philosophical grounds.
I remember that.
He had been nominated twice before and had asked the Academy to reject his nominations both other times.
Yeah.
He felt that how could you judge acting? No acting's better than another, and so
Right.
he thought the idea of awards
And
was
you have to
silly.
appreciate him for that.
Right.
Because it's really like it's based on the piece. Like you can have a brilliant actor not given a great script.
Right.
So yeah.
In 1973, Marlon Brando rejected his Oscar and sent California Apache Sacheen Littlefeather to decline the award he had won for The Godfather.
Yep.
Wearing her full Apache regalia, she stated that he would not accept the award to protest against Hollywood's depiction of Native Americans.
I remember that.
Her speech was met with boos from the likes of Clint Eastwood and others. John Wayne had to be physically restrained to keep him from attacking her. The speech lasted 60 seconds, but she read Brando's full 15-page speech backstage. In 1974, photographer and gay rights activist Robert Opel stormed across the stage naked.
I remember that one too. that popped up actually on my Facebook page.
He pretended to be a journalist before stripping down and running up past David Niven, who was introducing Elizabeth Taylor.
Also, streaking in the 70s was very popular.
Was a thing. Yep.
It was. So that I feel like that was just par for the course in the 70s.
Niven laughed as Opel flashed the audience and threw up a peace sign. Niven laughed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was almost bound to happen. But isn't it fascinating to think that probably the only laugh the man will ever get in his life is by stripping off and showing off his shortcomings.
But
Later, when asked about it, Opel said people shouldn't be ashamed of being nude in public. And besides, it's one hell of a way to launch a career.
Hippies.
In 1989, Rob Lowe sang a modified version of Proud Mary with Snow White, which was so bad Disney tried to sue for infringement.
Yep.
Oh man.
Yep.
Here's some fun facts about Oscars. Citizen Kane is considered by many as the most groundbreaking and greatest movie of all time. It only won Best Screenplay. It lost Best Picture to How Green Was My Valley.
Fun fact: never seen Citizen Kane.
It's great. It's I think anybody who likes movies should see it once, and then if they want to see it again, after that's up to them.
I should. It's never come about.
I saw it once and was like, I'm good.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it rough? Is it like a hard movie to watch?
No. It was made in 1941, and it's groundbreaking it's the first movie that tells the story out of order. It's just Wells does all these firsts,
right?
And Orson Welles is great,
and so it's like it's a good movie.
I didn't know if it was like emotionally hard. Not to be like,
let's put it this way: there's a lot of quotes from it. It's a thing, but I've never seen it. Yeah.
Alfred Hitchcock never won an Oscar.
He should have.
He was nominated for Best Director 5 times, but never won. He was honored by the Academy.
Did he not get Lifetime Achievement?
He was honored by the Academy with the Irving G. Thalberg Memorial Award, which is an honorary award given to creative producers whose body of work reflect a consistency of high quality of motion picture productions. The award isn't an Oscar. Instead, it's a trophy with Thalberg's head.
Oh, that's terrible. He should have got a Lifetime Achievement Award.
He should have, but
Samuel L. Jackson got one. Why couldn't Hitchcock?
I gave it to Samuel instead. In 2000, Matt Stone and Trey Parker, best known for South Park, attended the Oscars as they were up for Best Song for Blame Canada.
Blame Canada.
Yep. But they wore versions of dresses worn by other actresses. Parker wore a dress that Jennifer Lopez wore at the Grammys, and Stone wore a dress that Gwyneth Paltrow wore to the Oscars the year before. 3 movies have tied for having the most Oscars. I'm not going to ask you what the movies were, but I want you to you to guess how many Oscars have they won total. each film.
Okay.
They've won the same amount. So how many Oscars do you think has the
All
most
right.
Oscars? Like which number?
12.
12?
I'm gonna say 9.
9?
Gonna say 5.
11.
Oh, it's close.
Okay.
Look at me go.
The 3 are Ben-Hur in 1959.
Yeah.
Titanic in 1997.
Oh shit.
And Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, 2003.
Wow. One of those sounds familiar. I wonder why.
Most nominated films with no wins. So this is an order of the nominations.
Okay.
So The Shawshank Redemption in 1994
Should have won everything.
what had 7 nominations, 0 wins.
Which is crazy. That movie is brilliant.
The Elephant Man 1980, 8 nominations. no wins.
Scared the shit out of me.
Gangs of New York 2002.
Also should have won all the Oscars.
10 nominations, no wins.
Should have won all the Oscars.
True
Great
Grit
movie.
2010.
Never seen it.
10 nominations, no win.
Never seen it.
American Hustle.
Never seen it.
10 nominations,
That's a
no
good one. I
wins.
could see some wins.
The Turning Point from 1977, 10 nominations, no wins.
Also, I've never seen it.
And The Color Purple, 1985, 10 nominations, 0 wins.
You know that's my favorite movie of all time,
I
right?
know.
We've talked about this. Color Purple, literally the only movie that I can watch every single day.
Who has won the most Oscars?
Like as a person?
Marlon Brando.
You say Brando.
Oh God, I have to think of somebody.
Sure.
Steven Spielberg.
Spielberg. That's good. Good one.
Coppola.
Oh,
Walt Disney.
of
yeah.
course.
I believe that.
He has 22.
Duh.
The aforementioned Cedric Gibbons, who designed the Oscar, and he was a production designer. He won 11, but he was nominated 39 times.
That shouldn't be allowed if you designed the game.
That's what I'm saying.
Not the game, just the award.
It's the game.
it's
It's
a
the game.
It's a game.
You know it's the game.
Edith Head, costume designer, won 8 times. Catherine Hepburn has won 4 wins.
I love Catherine Hepburn.
The most of any actress. 3 men have tied for the most wins of an actor at 3 each. That's Jack Nicholson, Daniel Day-Lewis, and Walter Brennan. In the end, Mayer's dream of keeping unions out of the creative side of Hollywood didn't work. Depression hit, and they helped the union cause. So by the 1930s, they had all unionized. However, the Academy Awards, with its flaws and its pretentiousness, lives on every year, regardless of how many Oscar so whites, Me Too's, mispronounced names, wrong winners given, and yes, slaps in the face. That will happen. So a little bit about the Oscars today.
Nice.
Thank you for sharing.
Sources: the house that Mr. Mayer built inside the union-busting birth of the Academy Awards from Vanity Fair, February 12th, 2014. A brief history of the Oscars and its evolution from award ceremony to fashion event, Arcadia Publishing, and Oscar's first black winner accepted her honor in a segregated no blacks hotel in L.A. Seth
So sad.
Abernethy, Hollywood Reporter from February 19th, 2015. So go look those up and watch that.
Thank you for sharing.
Ike for president, Ike for president, Ike for president, Ike for president. You like Ike, I like Ike, everybody likes Ike for president. Hang out the banner, beat the drum, we'll take Ike to Washington. We don't want John or Dean or Harry, let's do that big job right. Just get in step with the guy that's hep, get in step with Ike. You like Ike, I like Ike, everybody likes Ike for president. Hang out the banner, beat the drum, we'll take Ike to Washington. We got to get where we are going, travel day and night for president. Let Adelaide go the other way, we'll all go with Ike. You like Ike, I like Ike, everybody likes Ike for president. Hang out the banner, beat the drum, we'll take Ike to Washington, we'll take Ike to Washington.
Now is the time for all good Americans to come to the aid of their country.
But do you feel like the Oscar movies you have seen juxtaposed against Batman? The Batman. Is it The Batman?
Yeah,
The Batman.
Yeah. The juxtaposition of that, do you feel like those are earned? You feel like that those stories are...
Yes.
Okay.
So I've seen 5 of the 10. As of this recording, hopefully by the time this airs, because the Oscars will be over, and I've seen them all. I've seen Don't Look Up, which I didn't care for.
It's so weird that's Oscar nominated.
I've seen 2.
I think it's weird that's not Oscar nominated.
It's weird.
I think it's a kind of a.
That feels very that's icky.
Like I think Adam McKay's. I think I think the Academy wants
He's a favorite though.
Yeah, I think they want to give Adam McKay an Oscar. They're just it's not this movie.
No.
And so they're just keeping on until they find the right movie.
Like they did with Marty?
Like they did with Marty,
Yeah.
or they did with Leonardo DiCaprio, or Russell
Mr.
Crowe.
Mr. Deakins for me, because I care about the cinematography awards.
Right. And so I almost turned Don't Look Up off, but second act starts to pull me in. That first act is a slog.
Oh, it's awful.
It's a slog.
I slept through it.
Yeah.
I woke up for the second act and was like, oh, this is a pretty good movie.
And then I like the rest
Yeah.
of it. And I see why it's nominated. The performances are good, but it just takes it's silly. Nightmare Alley, I liked.
I don't know that one.
Guillermo del Toro remade a 1940s film.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I've seen the
It's
stuff
got
for it.
Bradley Cooper in it, who's really good, who's not nominated.
Yeah.
Who should have been.
Yeah.
He's really, really good in it.
Guillermo still tells good stories though.
See, I don't like his films. This is the first one in a while that I've enjoyed.
But I feel like he tells stories that earn perspectives on it. At least to me, they have.
Oh, I got you. I think he's really good. He's like Burton for me. He's like, he can put you in a weird kind of world.
But we disagree on like the Hellboys from him,
Right.
Yeah. You like the new Hellboy.
No, I like Ron Perlman's Hellboy.
I only like Guillermo's Hellboys.
But I didn't mind David Harbour's. I didn't
have a problem with David Harbour. I just hated the movie.
Well, because it's 8 movies in one. They can't pick the storyline they want to do.
It's a sprinkle fest.
Right. It's just all a sprinkle fest. Like pick something, because I'm getting nauseous being good around.
Yeah.
But so Nightmare Alley.
That's cool that Nightmare Alley got nommed.
Yeah, and it's weird. It won't win, but it's worth a watch if you've not seen it.
No, I'll totally watch it. It's a horror film too.
No, it's
noir.
It's a
noir.
It's a noir.
Okay.
It's a noir.
But still, I like Guillermo, so it's fine by me.
Yeah, I think you'll like it.
I like noir, so
I'll have to wait till after the Oscars to watch it, so I give them no credit.
Well, this will be aired after the Oscars, so you can like
perfectly fine. I watched it, folks. It was fantastic.
And then I saw West Side Story.
I saw West Side Story.
That was boring.
I liked it.
I like it.
The one
I don't, but see,
I'm not a West Side fan.
I don't like West Side Story because I don't like Romeo and Juliet, so it's one of my least favorite
With
stories.
you.
And so I like what Spielberg did.
Yep.
It's very pretty to look at. It's performed well.
It bombed like a champ, though.
Because it came out beside Spider-Man.
It came out like 2 weeks before.
It's not just that.
It came out in a pandemic 2 weeks before Spider-Man.
I also just don't think that it didn't update.
Right.
And so I think that's part of the problem.
See, I don't think you can update.
And the other movie that came out right in front of it, I forget the name of it. There's another musical that came out in front of it. There was this beautiful. The Heights.
Yeah,
that was fantastic.
That didn't update its story either.
Yeah, it didn't update its story either.
But it was more modern.
Yeah, it was more
But
modern.
that's because it already is.
Okay, but that's my point. It was more modern, so it appealed to a mass.
It also bombed.
It did,
it bombed.
but it was still a great movie.
You know why? Pandemic.
I just don't think musicals are worth a shit, personally.
Absolutely. I got you. I feel you.
I mean, Hamilton's a rare situation.
Right. And Hamilton's a stage thing that it hit the right time, right place, at the right
100%.
guess.
Yeah.
I mean, In the Heights is good. It's also Lin-Manuel.
Yeah.
But it's you start to realize, like, Lin-Manuel's great, but he's also great. Like Weber's great.
Yeah.
He's got 1 or 2 really good kind of tunes
I'm
and
with you.
stuff, and
I'm
he
with you.
uses it in all his films,
Yep.
which is fine because it's okay.
It's the same way with John Williams, though, in score.
Yeah.
Right,
I mean,
absolutely.
honestly, that's anybody that.
I mean, it's any
Yeah.
So I'm not criticizing it. I'm just pointing it out. But West Side Story was better than I expected.
Yeah.
It's like costumes and stuff are just
The costumes, the camera were fantastic.
Fantastic.
Like the cinematography was great. I think that was Kaminsky, and then the costumes were
and
great.
I felt like watching it that I was in the 50s.
Yeah, 50s.
Or I guess it's 50s.
Yeah,
it's
50s.
Yeah, or 49 or something.
But I felt like I bought that era of New York.
I like the color palette they use. I mean, there's a lot about it. I like, again, production design not nominated, like out of the categories.
Right.
What it should have done.
Right.
Right. It was a big deal in that.
Yeah.
Right. And then that's 3.
Dune.
I saw Dune. Didn't care for Dune.
Good God, that was a boring movie.
Right. Like.
When I can honestly say I like the Alan Smithy, aka David Lynch
I like
version.
The Lynch version better.
I had more fun watching it. Yeah, I did. I did, and I love Raised by Wolves, which is in the same pacing structure as Dune.
Right.
It's very slow, but Dune just took too long to get anywhere.
Right. And
then when it ended, I was like, wait. Right here?
Yeah,
really? You want to cut it right here?
Well, we knew ahead of time it was going to end there.
No,
I didn't know ahead of time.
Because they said they were doing part 1 and part 2.
Yeah,
and there's only one way to split that book.
No, there's not.
No.
I tell you where I split it. I think I said this before, but maybe not. But that may have said this on the Cult movie. I'm not sure. But I'll say it again. Where you cut this movie is when the sandworm, the beautiful shot of the sandworm, the giant sandworm is looking at Jessica and Paul,
Yep.
and you're like, it's going to eat them.
Yep.
Credits.
Yep.
I'm going to see this next movie because I got to
100%.
find out if Jaws is going to eat the boat, right?
It was the weirdest place.
And
And,
it's like-
I like Denis Villeneuve. I am
Yeah.
a fan.
I am not.
I know you're not a big fan.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking.
I like The Arrival or
Don't
whatever
like
it
The
is.
Arrival.
Love
I don't like.
You
I
didn't
didn't
Blade
see
Runner?
Blade Runner because I don't like the original Blade Runner. And the only reason why I didn't see I don't like the original Blade Runners because I had a college class that just loved it and I've seen it so many damn times. I'm over it. I'm just over Blade Runner.
I'm not a super huge. I
like-
even know the production designer or the art director,
Right,
but
but see that's
not
what
a huge.
that's what I like about Blade Runner is the
art direction is fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
But like
The movie to me drags on.
oh, it's so drog. It's just
And then Blade Runner 2049 is beautiful.
but does it
Deacons.
does it drag?
Oh yeah, but there's a secret. All you do is like mute it
Right.
and turn on go to YouTube and find a cyberpunk playlist and push play and then watch the movie and it's fantastic.
Okay, cool.
It's really awesome. Like put it on the background
Right.
and every once in a while look over so you'll have this like like crazy like
Right.
cyberpunky beat and then there'll be something cool happening and it's just perfect.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
And then
And also do acid.
Dune's. Well, that helps most movies.
Yeah.
Dune for me just didn't. I don't know. I wanted to because I'm a fan of the book. I'm a fan of that. Real big fan of the David Lynch film, and what the David Lynch film does for me is that most people are confused by it. I'm not. It's about a rich boy who gets torn from his family, adopted by some natives, and become God.
Yeah.
I mean, what's wrong with that?
Right.
And it's got
It's
some,
just the presentation of it. It's not the most.
well, it's 1984. I mean,
Yeah.
the effect. I mean, I think some of the effects are still.
Well, the
hold up.
effects aren't the
worms
problem.
are- the worms
when
look
I say
great in that.
when I say presentation, I mean more of like how they tell that story and how they explain certain aspects. They kind of brush like real quick over certain
Right.
things that are
And-
very important.
At the end of the day, I still like the film. So it's like, is it important?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of it's nuanced stuff that like book readers would know, like fans of Dune would know,
Right.
but I don't think it
And
matters to the
We're
storyline.
also in the age of every movie has to be 3 hours and
Multi-part.
multi-part. And it's like, we can't just get to the point. We have
Yeah.
to show you all the backstory, which is not necessary.
Well,
flavor text is good.
I mean,
you
but
don't-
if you're
gonna-
also, I think if you're also adapting a book, you got to take the time for that.
Harry
stuff.
Potter doesn't. Harry Potter streamlines it pretty well.
But I'm also more of a fan of if you're going to adapt a book, just make a TV show.
I mean, Dune as a series would have been great. Didn't Sci-Fi try
They
that?
tried it. They tried.
The sci-fi series.
They did some mini series.
Children of Dune.
They actually
did both
made
of
it.
them.
Yeah,
They
they
did both
actually
of
made
them.
it to the sequel. Yeah.
The problem is that this was in 2001 where they just discovered green screen and CGI.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
And everything is CGI.
They actually, I think, if I remember correctly, wasn't that the same time that the Battlestar Galactica series that came out with Razor, maybe it was called, or something?
No, the
series that was all green screened.
Right.
And I think they did that right. It might have been a test to then do the Children of Dune thing. I
Maybe.
think it might have been on the same timeline.
Maybe.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. But
yeah. So yeah, it's hard to watch. I tried to watch it recently.
I will say this though, I didn't feel like Dune was a sprinkle fest.
I didn't either. I mean,
No.
it's got its moments, and I like.
They earn them.
Right, I love the ornithopters. I like the design stuff's great.
Yeah. Duncan Hines was fantastic
And I
as
like-
a cupcake.
I like the performances, but it's just at the end of the day, I'm just like,
Yeah.
didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
However, the one that did it for me, there's one. So
yeah, there's one more because you said 5.
yeah, so far the one that's done it for me is Power of the Dog.
I don't even know that one.
It's Jane Campion's new one.
Yeah.
It's probably her best one since Piano.
Yeah.
Benedict Cumberbatch is in it, and Jesse Plemons and
Jesse Plemons, who I swear is actually Philip Seymour Hoffman's son, but it's not.
Kirsten Dunst.
Oh, Kirsten Dunst is in it too. But I think Jesse Plemons to me, and we've called him this since the when he was on Breaking Bad, but he looks like an imperfect clone of Matt Damon.
Yeah.
We used to call him Meth Damon.
Meth Damon, that is fantastic.
Because he's I don't know where we got meth because it was on Breaking Bad. He's like,
Yeah.
look, his meth name. And there's like when he was in Black Mass, for a minute they're like I'm like, oh, they got Matt Damon in this, and they're
Yeah.
like, no, wait, no, it's Meth Damon. It's
Meth Damon, that's fantastic.
But now that Jesse Plemons has done enough movies, I can
Yeah.
I can separate them now. And so Power of the Dog is a story about a ranch in Montana, and two brothers on the ranch, and they're both college educated guys who learn ranching from a dude named Bronco Billy who's done passed. And so one kind of runs the business and the other one runs the ranch part. So he's he's a Yale educated guy, but he's like hardcore rancher now.
Yeah.
And so that's Cumberbatch. And then Jesse Plemons goes off to town because they sell cows and meets Kirsten Dunst and her weird son that's maybe on the spectrum or gay or both or whatever.
Yeah.
And he marries her and brings it. And so it's like, it becomes this weird family drama.
Oh,
where,
interesting.
Like, Cumberbatch is like, he's terrible. He's like terrible human being. Drives her tries to drive the wife insane. It's like, it's riveting. I'm like,
yeah.
And then it ends in the weirdest way. And you're just like, well, this is what an Oscar film should do. It
should stir something.
It does. It should stir something. It should be weird and exciting and fun. It made me think. And so far that's the one I've got. So now I've got Drive My Car to Go, Drive My Car, not to go, but the ones I got left is Drive My Car, which is the Japanese film.
Yep.
That's on Max, it's on Max. I gotta watch it on HBO. And then Belfast, which is out. Licorice Pizza.
Somebody was just telling me Licorice Pizza is fantastic.
Yeah, I hear it's great. But
and that's Philip Seymour Hoffman's son, and then somebody else, some musician,
right? And,
Coda.
Paul Thomas Anderson too.
Yeah.
So that should be good. What am I missing?
Coda,
and
King Richard.
Yeah, King Richard. I keep forgetting King Richard
because that's one I want to see.
The one that had Marley Matlin in it did not get nominated.
Coda.
Oh, that's Coda.
That's
Coda.
And she's nominated too, I think, right?
Let's see.
I think she's nominated.
I think that's awesome. I saw her speech and I thought it was just super phenomenal.
So she was on after Coda came out. She was on. I'm old, and so I'm a big fan of CBS Sunday Morning because it's the only news channel. The only time news is good.
Yeah,
it's nothing but like pleasant. There's like a little bit of the world sucks, and then it's like now let's talk about like this restaurant in Maine that does nothing but grilled cheese. I'm like, yay, I want to hear this.
Right.
But they had her on it. And so, she won the Oscar for Children of Lesser God.
Yep.
And she was dating William Hurt at the time, who was also nominated.
Yep.
She wins, he does not. And they break up because of it.
That's crazy.
Because he's been acting for a while.
Yeah.
She's new.
Yeah.
And she wins the Oscar right at the back.
Right.
Ruined their relationship.
The crazy thing though is her performance, despite anything where it's deaf related or not, her performance just she's good.
Oh, yeah,
she's so good. She sells so much with her, like her emotional transfer is very, very amazing. And so to see her do that kind of stuff is great.
I liked her in West Wing.
Oh, she was great in West Wing.
She was great West Wing.
Fantastic.
All right. So actress, we got Jessica Chastain, who's my pick, but she won't win. She's in The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
Yep.
Oh, it was fantastic.
That was good.
That was a fantastic
she
movie.
becomes Tammy Faye.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, it's actually amazing.
Olivia Colman, who's in
Lost Daughter.
The Lost Daughter. Kristen Stewart, who's in Spencer. Nicole Kidman in the Lucy movie.
Being the Ricardos.
And what's Penelope Cruz in?
Parallel Mothers.
Parallel Mothers, yeah. And so I think Marley Mann didn't get nominated unless she was supporting.
Let's see.
She won there for.
No, she's not on the supporting.
Yeah, she win for SAG or what's the other one? What's the one? Golden Globes?
Maybe.
She won something because I saw her speech. Or maybe the movie did. I don't remember.
Yeah,
I just remember.
The guy who plays her husband is nominated for supporting, I think, or actor.
Let's see.
And he won the SAG award.
Where was it? I was just looking at best supporting actor. Troy, is his name Troy the actor? Troy,
I think so.
Yeah, he's on best supporting actor.
So that's on my list to watch. But see, it's Apple Plus, and you got to.
Yeah. I have it. I have Apple Plus, but I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, so I got to get Apple Plus to watch it. So
I need to get it back just so I can watch my.
It's all my next week's plans.
The Rob show that he has.
But I love the Oscars. I love the pageantry of it. I miss I even like it when they screw up. Like last year, they screwed up big. My favorite thing about the Oscars because what's great about the Oscars is that even they don't know who's going to win.
Yeah,
which is uncanny to me. Like you would think, like the production piece, somebody and at least a director or something would know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm making the show. I need to know who wins so I know who to cut to or whatever. No one wins, and so they were banking so hard that Chadwick Boseman was going to win for that Netflix movie he was in.
Oh yeah.
and so they bucked tradition and put best picture, the third to last award of the night, which is crazy to me because it should end with best picture.
Yeah, of course.
Everyone stays up to see best picture.
Yeah.
And so they do best picture, which no one after you just don't care afterwards.
Yeah.
And so they do actress, and of course they're waiting for Chadwick Boseman's family to come up to accept his speech. Doesn't win. Anthony Hopkins wins for the father.
Yep.
I laughed so hard at just their
antics,
their hubris at what they thought was going to happen. It's just like, oh, and Anthony Hopkins is great in The Father, and Chadwick Boseman's fine actor. He was a great actor, but it just the La La Land screw up with the Moonlight and La La Land. I remember that. I love it when they screw up.
I did not care for. I use La La Land as a reference a lot.
La La Land's terrible.
Visually though,
Yeah.
like I show it to clients, and clients are happy. Like, here's the color palette, or they use. But I can't. The movie's terrible and boring. Moonlight was fantastic.
Yeah, Moonlight's great. Yeah,
it was, and I like him. I can't remember his name.
Right,
Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala.
Mahershala Ali.
I first saw Mahershala Ali in the 4400.
Same here, and he was fantastic.
He was great.
He was the best character on the show.
One of the best.
And it was one of those things where it's like, this dude's gonna stand out.
I liked Summer Glau on that because she played the girl with schizophrenia.
Yeah.
After she came back,
She was season 2 though, right?
Yeah, she's season 2.
Yeah.
But it's her and Jeffrey Combs together.
Yeah.
And it's just like great dynamic of the show.
Yeah.
And so
Whatever happened to Summer Glau?
good question. She was hot for a minute and then just kind of went away.
She's a good actor.
She's great.
It's her, and then what's the other one? What was it? I mean, all my Firefly people, I think obviously Nathan. What's his name's done the best is Wash. What is Alan Tudyk? Alan Tudyk's the one that's like kind of. I mean, he reinvented himself multiple times, and then it's his wife that was the choreographer of Peacemaker, and he stood in to help teach the dance.
Right.
I mean, they learned from. I mean, that's just so him,
right?
It's just like he has that sort of. It's fascinating.
And he does cons. He's every time I've met him at a con, he's very nice. So
he's a very sweet guy.
It's very sweet. Oh wow! There's so much more I want to talk about. So I'm just trying to get my thought. Like I didn't expect to go on an Oscar tangent. I'm not on an Oscar tangent. Look at that. So you, in your current job, you own a business, craft show, where you do you make commercials, and you've made commercials for, and you do other video work for, but commercials is kind of the
that's bread and butter
of it. And so you made our fellow co-host of My Star Wars Life the happiest guy in the world by casting him in a commercial
that he's never seen.
That he just recently saw it.
Oh, he did finally.
He finally saw it on TV.
He's finally.
Oh, fantastic!
I don't know if he's seen it on TV. He's seen it.
That's what he's.
Oh no! I mean, he's never seen it on TV.
Yeah,
like it's had a major rotation. Like it's been running regionally
play
for a while.
it, so we'll play it now. So,
okay.
But I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah.
It's fun to see JD. You don't understand how happy he was.
So I don't know. Can I can't show it.
Right.
But I'm going to tell a story that no one knows about this.
Right.
JD's going to be a little upset.
He won't listen to the show.
Okay.
He doesn't listen to the show he's on.
It has the following statement has no reflection of my business, my company, or JD.
Right. Those.
Oh yeah. So we go out and scout this. We find this farm,
right?
And this family has they have fainting goats is what we were kind of hoping for,
right?
So she tells us that the lady that takes care of him. She's like, hey, look, she's all tatted up and stuff. She's a nurse. She's all tatted up. She's cool. Like look, this is modern. They have a great looking house and family, and there's dogs, and it's a great. Very nice people, and like these are wonderful human beings, very well to do. It's a beautiful place. She's like, listen, those goats are mine. She tells me those are her babies, and she's like, listen, just a couple of things. One, don't touch a goat's head because they pee on their own heads.
Yep,
the billies do, and that's how they mark stuff. So I told the crew this, and so like JD wanted to pet the goat, and I was like, don't pet the goat. I yell at him because I didn't want him to get the stink. It's like really musty.
It was terrible.
Yeah, Caleb was there.
Oh, Caleb.
Yeah, I was there.
So Caleb knows this part of the story, and it's horrible. So we go there and we scout. Everything's great. We see the fainting goats. Then we get ready to do the fainting goats. Like we come back to film, and we're there with JD, and it's a little bit of rain, no big problem. And we get ready to film, and we fire the horn off because that's what she told us to use. It'll scare them, and the goats don't faint. They just lock up. They're just like, you can barely see it in the commercial.
Right.
But they were supposed to faint. They don't faint. They just lock up and just look like they just. Like, oh shit. And that was the end of it. Like,
Right.
So we lost that gag. So the edit got more bizarre because of that, which made it a better commercial.
Right.
What you don't see, though, is that I couldn't shoot all the angles because when we first scouted the location, there was no signs of anything bad. But when we came back, there was a giant rebel flag flying in the background. JD is wearing a cowboy hat that looks like a Confederate general's hat in overalls.
So he's basically Uncle Jesse from the Dukes of Hazzard.
Absolutely. I have a photo on my phone that no one will ever see that he didn't see me take. And he's standing there and he's got his hat tilted, hat in hand kind of thing, and behind them is this Confederate flag flying high.
He should use it and run for governor for Alabama.
Oh my God.
Do you know our friend Jared Budlon's running for governor?
Yes, I did see that.
Jared's going to be our next guest on the show.
I think it's fantastic.
I am curious.
I don't agree with everything that he's doing.
No, I don't either.
But I am so in love with the fact that he is disrupting the policy.
Right. And I hope that he does. I hope,
100%.
That's why I want him on the show. Because
for sure.
Because I really know who the fuck runs for governor.
Yeah.
Like who doesn't have like money because he's like us. We're poor. And so,
I mean, he's a complete middle class human being.
Right.
Father of three.
He's got 3
Father
boys.
of 3. And I mean, he's fascinating. He's the most chill dude in the world.
Right.
He's so mellow,
right?
That if he were to get elected, they're going to accuse him of smoking a lot of pot,
right?
And he doesn't.
He doesn't, which is so. But
he's very straight.
He's our next guest. So,
that's fantastic.
So, because I kind of I've never had anyone who's running for governor on my show because I've never really had a show like this, and
he has a very interesting take on policy, the way he's approaching. I like what his idea is. I just don't necessarily align with all of his political views.
Absolutely.
So it's
but
fascinating.
But yeah, so we have a friend running for governor, which I think is crazy.
That is wild. Do you think that's another sign of getting old? Back to your
maybe. So would you ever run for office?
Oh, 100%.
Would you?
Yeah. I've often threatened to potentially run where I see it would fit well. I don't care about politics though. So I'd be coming in as an anarchist.
Right. Well,
because I don't know shit what I'm doing.
Right. So we can't use that soundbite for
Yeah. No. That just took me out forever.
Right. Yep. Drew Hall doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
I actually have a friend. The best thing I ever heard is I had a friend and it changed my perspective on all of it. And he was at the time he was like 33, 34 and we were having a very serious conversation and he's like, you don't understand. He grew up in a large family. They were very poor. He said, you don't understand what it's like. And I was like, you're right. I don't. I do have a little bit of privilege. I'm not ignorant to it in the sense that my father was a doctor.
Right.
So I didn't grow up poor. I grew up working hard, but I didn't grow up poor. Anyway, so his long story thing is he tells me all this stuff. He's like, the only thing I've ever had, the only thing in my life that is mine, and he has like 10 brothers and sisters, not 20, but like there's 10 of them. 10.
Right.
The only thing that's mine is my education. And so his goal was to run for whatever school board or something as simple as that, because he believes, and this is what unlocked a huge conversation in my brain. He's like, the only way you can actually change the world is by educating people.
Right.
And he's like, trust me, from someone who has nothing, education is the only thing I had. And it gave me everything going forward. And he's not like a millionaire. He's a normal guy.
Right.
So he came from nothing, very poor, to middle class.
Right.
The average life.
Right.
Not even the majority of the world.
Right.
Or the majority of the country.
You just aspire to be comfortable, and then we'll figure out what happens.
That's exactly right. And so his perspective is the one that really shifted, and that's the bigger thing. And like my bigger platform, if I did it, would always be pushing education first.
Gotcha.
Like I would, if I ended up in a governor, is it gubernatorial?
Gubernatorial.
Yeah, thank you. If I landed in that spot, I would, unfortunately, I don't know if I want to say that, but I would take, because I know something I shouldn't say. So I would take money and make sure more money was going into education for the state of Alabama than into other things.
Right. Absolutely. I believe
we're ranked number 49.
So I'm big on like, I'll say this first and then I'll tell you why I can't run for anything.
Right.
Because of something I did in my past that I'll tell everybody in a second. So you can use it against me if I decided to go crazy and run. I believe in this simple truth. Are you American? Yes. Then you get all the rights.
Yeah.
I don't care what race you are, what your sexual orientation are, if you're transgender. Are you American?
Yep.
Then you get all the rights.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And then we'll cross the other stuff later. But let's not. I don't understand what the big disconnect is. Well, he's different, so he doesn't get. No, he gets the same rights as you do.
Right.
American, we get the. That's what this paper says.
And it's so contradictory when you see people who negate that. They try and you're American, but no, there's no but.
It's just you're American.
You get the right. I don't know why we're having this discussion. I don't know why people have lost. They've lost court cases where they should have had rights because it doesn't make sense.
Right.
It just because the way it is. Here's why I can't run. I can't run because of LARPing.
Because of LARPing.
I cannot run for
live action role play.
LARPing. I cannot run because of LARPing. And this is the story. I used to run a live action vampire game in Foley, Alabama.
Right.
I was 18, 19 years old. I was so before, I think it's before my ex-wife and I were dating, we were hanging out, and her dad had a card shop that we played out of. So we're playing on the sidewalk, we're not doing anything. We're just live action role playing and just playing vampire, nothing, and vampire, if you've ever played the live action version, is played with not weapons, but played with rock, paper, scissors. So you've got a bunch of teenagers running around doing rock, paper, scissors. And I guess the city of Foley thought we were doing drugs.
No way.
Because we were all dressed up and but we're vampires, so we're snazzy, so we were like suits and stuff. We were we were really, and so but we rock, paper, scissors. And so I thought it was a great idea to agree to do an interview with the local paper about our activities.
Right.
And so I did, and tried to explain that, like, hey, it's just a game. We're just playing games and stuff and whatever. So the Saturday morning edition comes out, and the above the fold headline, Vampires Roam Streets of Foley.
Oh my God.
And I looked at that and I was like, I will never run. I can't run for office.
Yeah, that is it.
I'm out. Vampires Roam the Streets of Foley.
Unbelievable.
So ruined my political career with that. So again, if you get elected to something, remember.
What do you think is going to happen? So most of the people running for offices right now are old people.
Right.
Mm-hmm. By standards of children, they're old people. We're on our way.
Right.
But we're not old people yet.
I mean, look, Governor Meemaw is 70-something years old, and she's going to run, and she'll win a re-election.
Right.
And, she is a very old lady.
Right. So that means
our
Governor Meemaw
is very old.
He is ancient. That means I think Trump's older, though.
Yeah.
I think by a year or something.
See,
I'm not sure, though.
Before you get your point, because I want to get this, because it's in my head, I want to get it out. I believe there's an age limit on when you can become president.
Oh, 100% with you.
There needs to be an age cap with like
and driving.
Like right, sure.
It's driving and president. Right. Yeah, you cannot be president or drive a car.
Or even senators, honestly.
Absolutely, I think.
Yeah, what was that? Strom Thurmond that was in there for 100 years.
I'm racist and I'm never going to die. 100 years.
Yeah.
The 35 is to be president. I think you should 65 is the limit, and if you're elected at 65, you get one term.
Yeah,
get one term.
Yeah,
but you got 30 years to try to be president. If it doesn't work out, that's it.
Yeah,
because 35 to 65. I don't.
Fair enough.
And the reason why they didn't do it because no one lived. Like Washington was what, like 48 when he died.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's totally right.
He's in his 60s, but
well, there's all kinds of those that need to be updated.
Right.
There's all kinds of pieces of that scenario.
Can't start the holy text.
Nope.
But to your point, I just want to.
Where was I going about age?
Yeah,
I don't even know where I was going. Governor Meemaw was involved.
Yeah, Governor Meemaw.
I don't remember where I was going with it now.
Because we're old?
Oh, because we're old. I'm trying to think of where I landed. It doesn't matter. I guess I was just I was going down the path that, like, imagine when the kids now that are making all these really messed up TikToks, some of them somewhere can run.
Right.
Yeah.
The scandal load that's about to hit the universe is going to be epic.
Yeah, because
no president, no political person's going to be able to dodge it because they're all doing stupid shit on the internet.
Right. Yep.
There's no consequence at the time because that's what the world says.
Right.
It's going to be
children. Yeah.
YOLO. Yeah, it's exactly right. You know what? If you want to invest in your future, become a night show, like a talk show, late night talk show host.
Right.
You're gonna have content for days.
Right.
Become the next Jay Leno. Get a chin extension. Whatever you got to do, you're set. Just saying.
Yeah.
All along those lines. Hear about Kim Kardashian?
No.
So Kim and the family were talking about something, and they started talking about how people that don't want to work.
Oh wow!
And I was like, "You've never filled out a job application in your life,
Right?
How the hubris of that?"
Oh yeah, no. I mean that happens. You see that conversation happening more and more lately,
right?
Because they probably are putting in a lot of hours. I'll be honest with you. I mean, the amount of stuff they're doing, we don't see it, but the amount of stuff they're doing. But where did you break out, Kim Kardashian? A sex tape,
right? Exactly. So,
but she spun it, right? And she built an empire. Right. And it's the same thing of like I was talking about earlier with the Mr. Beast interview. Listen to this kid obsess over YouTube. He hasn't even seen movies. He doesn't do anything but study YouTube all day long. And it's the same way. Like she may have become that sex tape led her down a path to become a business. But so her perspective is, God, I work my ass off. I don't take any time off. I'm always grinding, doing work. And there are all these other people who are lazy because she doesn't have the perspective.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a bad look for her.
Right.
But I can understand. I don't understand where she's coming from because I'm not in that wealth category. But like,
yeah, because it's the misunderstanding of you started with the easy mode to get there.
Right.
Well, yes, you worked hard to get there. You had an easier chance than say if I were to try to do that.
So
sure.
I don't want to disparage her, but I kind of do.
Like I give her credit for the hard work, but
what is her hard work?
No, what I'm saying is I guarantee you from a business side, she's doing a lot of business elements.
Yeah, but someone had to put her there. That sex tape puts her there, and then she gets people who are interested to make money off of her. So they
well, she though, if you look at her business line of stuff, she has a lot of. I guarantee you, there's a lot of decision-making matrices that she's dealing with.
Right. I'm not saying she's a puppet.
But even from a business owner standpoint, like I'm constantly and I guarantee she's constantly thinking about all these different parts of how she can grow her empire more.
She's not like us, who's like, okay, we got to clean the studio before we do stuff, right?
No, she's not dealing with that. But I would say that
there's different levels of work.
But there's still a little.
I would consider myself hardworking. So
you're extremely hardworking, but you do it twice, right?
Right.
So in some cases, like this, I just had this conversation with someone. I build mountain bike trails for fun. That's hard work.
Right.
It's brutal. Like I cut down trees with an axe. I don't use chainsaw. I like to do everything by hand.
Right.
And that's something I do.
You're a real man.
Because I'm just an idiot. That's what I like to do. And so the thing is that I also work a physical job. I also work an incredibly taxing mental job.
Right.
And then I'm a business owner. So I've got to be creatively sharp all the time and think of things to keep my business open. I've got to physically go do these things. And then I have to carry the business weight. So like really the two heaviest pieces are mental.
Right.
I have one portion out of the thirds of my business that is physical. The rest is just this mental strain. And I think I'm not defending her because I think it's a bad statement.
No, it's a bad take.
It's a bad. You shouldn't say that kind of like it's dumb to say that, right? When you're in an elevated seat. But if it were in context of a bit of dialogue, I might understand it. She's like, I just feel like people aren't working hard enough
because everything has nuance.
Well, it does.
But
it was a bad look on her.
And I can only see what. Yeah, I only show what they showed me.
Yep.
From the clip. So
of course,
because that's how it works. But it got me thinking. Like again, my first thought was, you've never filled out a job application.
Oh, guaranteed she's never done anything on the lower end, right?
It's like,
have you ever cleaned a toilet? Probably not.
Come on, child. Because her family's always been somewhat wealthy, and then
because her dad was
her dad was a lawyer for OJ.
Yeah,
and then cancer got him because OJ.
He drank too much of the juice.
I'm proving that the Kardashians will never
the Kardashians
will come on the show. But speaking of Kardashians, did you see the second episode of Picard?
It was much better.
Yes, it was much better. So because this whole conversation started with Picard and then we forgot about it.
No.
We got that.
I was going to tell you. So I have a buddy. I have my other podcast. It's the Mountain Bike Podcast. I've told this story on the other show, but it sets up something funny about Picard. So he is pure athlete, collegiate athlete, not in our world at all. Like if I brought him in here, he would be like, "What the hell is going on?"
Right? Yeah, you mentioned. Yeah. You should bring him in here. We should put him on the show.
I wanted him to start recording the podcast here because I do a podcast with him, and I was like, "Let's just record it here." It would make my life easier. Yeah. But he was like, "Oh, are you going to watch that new show called Pritchard?" And I was like, "Pritchard." He was like, yeah, that Star Trek show, Pritchard. I was like, you mean Picard? He's like, whatever it is. I'm like, no. Pritchard is a city. Picard is legendary. You have no idea what you're talking about. So I just thought it was funny. The second episode of Pritchard was fantastic.
Yeah, the first one. Caleb, do you watch it?
It's on my list.
Okay. Have you watched the first season?
I have not.
Okay, so
I don't care.
Right, because you're more a Star Wars guy than a Trek guy anyway.
Yeah.
So
and I'm also very much I'm okay with spoilers because to me it's about watching the show later on.
God, man, I wish I would be like that.
Yeah, there's sometimes I don't care. Sometimes I do.
Like I'm now to the point where I'm like, all right, I've seen the first trailer of this. I'm never seeing another trailer till it comes out.
Yeah,
because I'm like, I need to be teased, and I'm okay with that. But
Yeah.
so
that's kind of your job, though.
right,
Yeah.
and so I have to
Right.
some of the stuff. But first episode makes no sense to me because Picard's a robot guy now. And they really want to be like, can a robot guy find love at 100 years old?
Yeah, I'm with you.
And I'm like, I don't.
He doesn't have to worry about it not working though.
And it's like, is it space the final frontier or is it your heart?
Yeah, oh my god!
I mean, didn't he feel that?
Oh, it was very Hallmark. It felt like a Hallmark show,
episode, right? It's like,
seriously,
right? So the Picard will learn that it's heart
until the very end,
right?
Right, like the whole thing. I was like, where's this going? Why is there rosy glasses? Like. Even the intro, I was like, what is this?
Right.
Weird Lifetime movie crap.
Right.
And then the Borg Queen and then Q.
Right.
And I was like, oh.
Okay.
That was like, why couldn't we have that at the beginning?
Right. Let's get this whole episode.
Yeah. And then the second episode, they gave us more of that.
Right.
I didn't totally love it.
So,
but it was more interesting. I like that there were stakes all of a sudden.
So what didn't you like about it? Because I'm curious if we're going to agree.
I mean, my bigger thing is I don't get why they set up the world the way they did. Like, it seems very strange that he would become that evil of a person.
I like the flip.
I get it, but it's like he's so evil.
Right.
Like, he kills people and then brings their skulls home.
Right.
Like, he's the epitome of evil.
But that being said, that is kind of badass.
I mean, it is, but he's like evil.
Right, I hadn't really
and then
thought
how
of that.
she ended up, I just thought things were just a little too, like him being evil. All right, she's Seven's president.
It's like, that's convenient.
I'm not into that.
Right. And she's got
And
a
then
weird little
no
husband.
one seems to notice that, like, the doctor probably is acting completely different than
Right,
she used to.
right.
That's kind of strange.
Maybe she's just always that weird constantly in every universe.
I guess so.
Because she's Girardi's one of my favorite characters.
There's one, but she's fantastic. She's actually a great actor.
Right,
She's
right. She's
fantastic.
great, but just the way she keeps up.
She's
with-
hilarious.
Everything makes me just laugh so damn hard. She's so good. And like, she invented Patton Oswalt as a spot 27, 47 or whatever it
Yep.
was. And it's like, oh, look, it's
That's a
Patton.
nice little nod.
I was like, I'm sad that she didn't take it with her.
Yeah. My favorite part of the entire episode though is they're trying to escape. Right. And then the
real tension in that scene, by the way.
was fantastic.
Real tension. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, because you don't know at this point. Like, they've done a great job.
Right.
And
Like, I know they get a season 3, but not everyone's going to make it, right?
the Romulan guy is getting his ass kicked.
Right.
And then I forget her name, whatever his best friend, Raffi's like, go ahead, whatever his name is.
Right.
And then all of a sudden the dude like just kicks everyone. Like, he just was taking the heat because he's like a ninja.
Right.
And then suddenly he turns on the ninja and it's like slaughtering these dudes. And they kill him.
All right. Straight up.
And they just murder Starfleet people or whatever, Confederation or whatever they are.
And Raffi's like, maybe there's a look on her like, this isn't good. And then she's like, meh.
Yeah. It's like, you
Larry Davis it really quick.
and then they start killing everybody.
And
I was like, our heroes are on a murder spree.
I'm like, I'm okay with it.
And it's like, it's a totalitarian state. Now, it's weird though, because the one thing I noticed from it that was fascinating is I think they should have pushed one element over. I understand what they were doing. The aliens were all they killed all aliens. Like, humanity,
Right.
human beings kill aliens. But they were at least united racially.
Right.
Because I saw like everybody was cheering together.
Right.
And there was no racial tension.
Right. Because I've stated this many a times within friends. Racism will end on this planet when aliens show up because we will unite to hate something else. Well,
exactly.
yeah.
So that's what that show is.
Right.
Yeah.
My theory is proven. We just
yeah.
My biggest pet peeve with the entire show is it breaks the rule of show not tell.
Oh, big time.
It name drops everything.
Yeah.
Like
It telltales.
It telltales real bad.
Yeah.
And like Q even name drops episode titles in his dialogue. And I'm just like, and we're going through in a mirror darkly. I'm like, oh man, just don't. That's cringy. And then they're like, here's Golda Kott. Here's General Martok. Here's a Borg Queen. Here's this thing.
Oh, then Cisco. What about General
Cisco? And I'm like, Avery's gonna no, he's not, because he's crazy, I guess. Or I hope he's not crazy. I hope like.
Oh, I would be so happy if he showed up.
Shows back up.
Oh, it'd be so cool.
Did you see What We Left Behind, the DS9 documentary?
I've watched portions of it. Yeah.
The best thing in it, I wish someone would compile this on YouTube, or I wish they would compile on YouTube. Let's even better. Was they pitched season 8,
right?
And they do it kind of like light animation,
right?
But I'm all in on season 8 of this, and so season 8 is basically they turned DS9 into Jerusalem, where it's this kind of spot where religious Bajorans go to watch the wormhole. It's not the Bajor never makes it into the Federation,
right?
And it's this weird contested spot where it's like a religious place.
Yep.
Kira becomes like a Vedic, and so she's the Kai, and so like all the stuff I buy, I buy all of this stuff, and it's like, and there's a small Federation presence on there, but no one likes them.
Yeah.
Because the Dominion War and whatnot. And so, because they feel like they've been abandoned since the Dominion War. The only thing I didn't like was like, there's a Section 31 thing they wedge in trying to get Bajor into the Federation by destroying the wormhole. And I was like, I don't buy that, but this was a soft pitch. So they had Bashir and Ezri together because they're like, we need happy relationships. I'm like, yes, shows need happy relationships.
Yeah, no, I agree.
The fascinating part about it was they had Jake Sisko, is a writer in New Orleans, so he's living above his grandfather's restaurant.
Oh wow!
And then he gets a message to come back to DS9, and he goes back to DS9, and it's his brother, who's the baby that was born at the end of. Yeah, and so who's in Starfleet? So Jake's not the baby follows dad's footsteps to become, and there's this whole thing. I'm like, it's great.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's what so like. I hope, and the emissary shows up, and I'm like, I don't know if you watch the captains, that the interview show that they did with all the captains, Avery doesn't seem well.
Yeah.
Or it's a really good act. And I've heard both ways.
Yeah.
And then Avery's kind of not been in anything.
Nope.
So
that's right.
I don't know if he's retired from acting. He taught for a while because him and his wife taught at Rutgers.
Yeah.
For a long time. And but he's kind of retired from acting, but he's not making any appearances or anything.
See, I loved him. So whenever he would pop in movies and stuff, I would be so happy to see Avery Brooks.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I just would be
the big head.
Yeah. He's so great.
He's good. He's a good, fantastic actor.
He's fantastic.
He's my favorite captain.
Yeah.
But I hear General Sisko and just was like, oh, great.
Yeah.
No, we're not going to see. No, I don't want to see. I want to see this other guy. Who I like. I like Cristo or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
The Spanish guys. I like him.
He's fun.
Yeah. And Rios. Yeah.
Rios.
And I just, and the Borg Queen was interesting.
It's interesting that she has technology that does all of that.
Right.
Like I get it, but the only problem I had with it was they use the Borg as a convenient. They have technology that can do that, or they use it a lot.
Right, which is it's a Star Trek thing.
No, it is. It's just
especially
sometimes I'm
Voyager.
like dig for it a little bit.
Right, like there's a lot of Voyager episodes that use Borg technology to do stuff.
They just be like, oh, we're great.
But see, I'm curious. Like now, so the Borg apparently are in shambles, and I wonder if that's the cascade effect from what Janeway did in the end of.
I thought it was from the virus.
Well, that's what she gave a virus to them. So,
but I thought that was on Next Generation when they did that with Hugh.
No, they didn't. They didn't upload the virus to Q. That was the thing. They decided not to do genocide.
Oh, interesting.
And so what Hugh did was they gave him, he kept his individuality.
Yeah.
They uploaded that and hope that would help. Well, that screwed up that cube, and that's how Lore got those guys for Descent Part 2.
That's right.
So I can't do math. I know this stuff.
Yeah.
My whole outside of basic.
Your job title is Native American Pop Culture Spirit Guide.
Not Native American mathematician.
That's exactly right, sir. Live where you be.
That's it. But I'm curious to see where it's going by the time this airs we'll be 3 or 4 episodes into it. So.
Yeah, I'm excited. I enjoy it. It's a I call them treadmill shows.
Right.
So on Thursdays, if I have a good show, like that's when I know I can go hit the treadmill, put in some work, and then enjoy what I'm doing.
Right.
Other times I watch a lot of YouTube videos, or like it's Tuesday, Thursday for that stuff.
Yeah.
I swap back and forth.
Yeah. So I usually just get up in the morning and watch it because
I'm excited by it. It gives me something to look forward to on Thursday.
Right. I miss having. It's been a while since I've had anything to watch weekly. The Peacemaker's over and Boba Fett's over, and so
thank God Boba Fett's over,
and we're almost to Obi-Wan.
Almost
to Moon Knight. Who knows what's going to trigger me on that one? I already got pissed off in the whole conversation about the Jedi. The language they use pissed me off.
Yeah, we'll say that for the Star Wars.
Say that, yeah.
For the Star Wars show. Drew.
Yes, sir.
It's been fun.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you for being my first guest.
Oh, I'm really honored. Back when you hit the Joe Rogan $100 million, they'll be like, "Do you have the first episode?" I'm like, you can't find them. It's just not there.
I thought my guest was Larry David, but it turned out. Thanks, man, for coming in.
Thank you very much.
Diecast. The Bionic 6 saga continues. Eat bricks, Bionic 6. Jack Bennett saved by the Bionic Pad, Bionic Dirt Bike, Bionic Quad Runner. Bionic Oh no! Evil Scarab escapes this time from the Bionic 6.
Bionic 6. Figures and vehicles each sold separately. It's a grand toy.
So that was Drew Hall. And Drew was great. And I'm so happy that Drew was here with us. And yes, I'm wearing a different shirt. It happens. It's just because I'm going to let you get behind the scenes and let you understand how the sausage is made. We record these at different times, and I forgot an outro. I had edited this episode all the way together, and then hey, we should add some more. So I did. So that's what. So again, thank you, Drew. You know what? Honestly, Caleb, I don't even know why I mentioned it because the people who watch the video will only notice the shirts. The podcast people will be like, was he even wearing a shirt?
Yep. Yeah, the audio. Yeah, the audio
folks probably don't even know. They're probably imagining me like in armor or a dress.
But at the same time, we got a good amount of video. We got a good amount of video.
We
viewers.
do. We had to. And if you don't watch it, you should watch it at least a little bit. That'd be great. But if not, you heard some great audio content. So if you want to follow us, you can follow us on any fine podcast app. Anything you listen to podcasts on, we're on. If you're listening to a podcast, you know that. So tell the video people that. And vice versa. Rate and subscribe to us because we love making this, and those really, really help out. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Tuesdays with Scotty. And then we're on YouTube at youtube.com/Mopcast Network. Is that all? Did I forget anything?
Nope.
I did not forget anything. Look, that's why we have producer Caleb to keep me on track. This is Scotty saying this is my contribution to the multiverse. Go out and make yours! Woo!